Welcome back to We Got Goosebumps, a podcast dedicated to the landmark horror series for children, written by R.L. Stine back in the 90s. I'm a guy who owns a party house, literally a house for parties. Dylan.
And I'm your old dummy, the one with the loose head. I'm Travis.
Today we have number 31 in the series, Night of the Living Dummy 2, that was released in May of 1995, and I'm really excited about this one. Hey, it's the start of a new season. It's a new season.
Yeah, dude. The series is the season's bracketed by dummy. You got dummy to kick it off, dummy to end it, man. This is a dummy sandwich.
And it's been
dummy thick sandwich.
It's been a long time since we've seen Slappy, which is funny because he's at this, in our modern day era, Slappy is considered to be the face of the Goosebumps series. After Jack Black, obviously. It's Jack Black, then it's Slappy the dummy.
R.L. Stine's like 7th.
Yeah.
He's way down there.
Oh, yeah. Just that Basset Hound face being like, I enjoy killing children. But it's so weird that it's taken, 24 books to see Slappy again?
Yeah. I've started to miss Slappy. I mean, Slappy was... I would say he's right around the peak, because the first season's such a banger, and it's one of the top from that season. And then we, in hindsight, looking back, if I do a 1,000-foot view, it's been a bit of a downward, like not a big chasm, but just a little bit of a slope. And this book made me feel like we're heading back up to some good territory. This felt vintage. This felt like a season 1 Goosebumper.
If I think that the last season or so, it's just been cruising, kind of doing, poking some fun corners, but just kind of cruising along. I don't feel like we had any moments that were really like, man, that first book though, the first Dummies book, that there's so many moments in that book. There's just like, what the fuck is going on? What is this family? And in a lot of ways...
They had an edge to them. They were, like, different. Like, the last couple seasons have felt very...
safer.
I don't... Like, Disney. They feel, like, polished in a weird way.
Yeah, it's the same thing that you have with any franchise or genre. When you hit a certain point, it becomes, like, formulaic or whatever. Like, there's a reason why... I just watched Scream again for the 50 billionth time, and Scream has all the, rules about horror movies. It's a slasher movie about slasher movies. It's just, after a certain point, you're on your 31st Goosebumper. Obviously, maybe things are a little more
There's a pattern.
Processed. Yeah. It's just a rhythm to it. Yeah. Formula.
Well, I don't know. This harkened back. Not saying this one broke the formula, but it just felt... I don't want to use the word vintage for something that's harkening back to something that only existed like 2 years before it, but I don't know. It felt like maybe he had been sitting on this idea for a while.
So we do have some covers. It's funny. I saw the covers on here, and we've done so many of those bonus episodes, which you should check out between seasons that we do. I was like, oh yeah, covers. We haven't talked about covers in so long.
That's true. That is true. As much as I was talking about how much I really liked how this book harkened back to the good old days, this cover doesn't really do a lot for me, I'll be honest.
I kind of love it.
Okay.
This is what it is. This is one that I had to kind of sit on to love, if I'm going to be completely honest, but it's so surreal, because you kind of have this, what looks like the stereotypical little girl's room from the 50s. Like, this is this is not a modern, but it's got a pink bed with red covers on it, and flower wallpaper patterns, and 2 stuffed animals on there. But the colors real ugly. This is almost like circus versions of the colors you'd actually see in a bedroom. The pink is a little off. The yellow's lime green yellow. It's gross. The stuffed animals look concerned, because in the middle of the bed is Slappy, and he is so off-putting. I love how thin he looks under his rumpled suit, especially with how he's described in the book. Like when he's walking around and he's like his little boneless, like you can really see that Slappy in this artwork. So I actually really like kind of the juxtaposition of like, it's a little girl's room, and then there's this ominous intruder, but also the whole room's kind of surreal looking too. I don't know. This one, like, I had to sit with it for a while, but I really dig it. Also, that rabbit's expression is just like, what the fuck is this? Get this fucking thing off my bed.
I think that's the only thing, now that I'm looking at it, and I kind of see what you're saying. Like, the more I fixate on Slappy, like, the more I like it, because he's pretty well done. I think it's just the color scheme that makes me not feel, not like it. Like, I'm put off by that.
It's very garish.
Yeah, but I think compositionally it's good. I think the stuff he's staring back at me is weird.
I mean, I do find it weird that Jacobus. Wow, it's been a while since I've said his name. I guess Jacobus gave like the bear a blowjob expression, but like we don't know what Slappy was getting up to with other stuffed animals.
Yeah, they call him Sloppy, actually.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, well, that was the 1995 Tim Jacobus, and then 2004 gentleman, I think Brandon something, or nope, 2015 actually. Somebody, Brandon something, I always forget his name, but he redid it with Slappy poking his head out of a closet door, and this one has a little bit more of like an axe murderer vibe, but with the red paint, as is important in the book. I don't know. I think this is maybe one of the better ones from Brandon Dorman, I feel like is the name. I could also be making that up. But this one I might like the most of his catalog, actually. I think it's pretty sinister, given the rest of them didn't feel so... They felt like they took a step back from being spooky in favor of aesthetic. But this one actually is pretty creepy.
Yeah, I do like the details of like the paintbrush. So there's like splashes of red everywhere, but then you see it's a paintbrush. So don't worry, moms. Don't worry, dads. It's not blood. It's just paint. And the blowjob bear, not there anymore. Just a regular teddy bear. Just a normal bear. We're good.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I do think at first blush, though, you see that one coming out of the slat in the closet door, and you're like, what is that, an axe handle? And the more you look at it, you're like, oh, it's paint. So, yeah. Pretty well done.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got some of them international covers, and, of course, we got to start off with the UK, dude.
All right.
God, personally, I don't want to sway you, but I kind of like it.
I kind of hate you. What?
Yeah.
Why? Oh God!
I like one specific piece of it. If I'm fair, I like the blood or the paint. I'm sorry, trickling down the hand. I like that.
That is a. Jesus Christ! Okay. All right. We're going to ignore the tapioca pudding because we have to ignore the tapioca pudding. Obviously, it's there. It's just there. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Why is the hand? I get it's supposed to be like force perspective, but it just looks like it's larger than his head. It's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it came from that body. Like it came, like if the arm was jutting out of his navel, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay. I feel like I'm forcing it for this one. It's not that bad. I do like I like the brush aspect of it, and it's funny that Brandon's cover, I don't remember his last name,
Dorman, I think,
with that big thick brush. That's what I was picturing in my head too. But if we're honest, that's probably not the brush that Clara was using to do her paintings and stuff, and that's the only paintbrush.
Or Sarah even, yeah.
Or Sarah. So this is probably even more accurate. But again,
true.
Everyone keeps fucking up with the shirt. Everyone keeps drawing him wearing a shirt. Although that could just be the bow tie maybe wrapped around his neck. No, because that's the shirt he's wearing.
There's a collar.
Yeah. Oh, because he does have a collar, right? Like he has a cloth collar and the shirt's painted on underneath that maybe? Okay. Yeah, this is not the most egregious. There's a dummy. There's red paint. Both those things were in the book. Yes, it's submerged up into its neck in hot, yellow, bubbling piss. But fine. That's just what they did. Don't know why. Still, no one has come to us and given us an explanation for why the British covers did this.
I'd love to have a name. I'd love to talk to that.
Oh, yeah.
Or
well,
ma'am,
maybe,
or gentle ma'am.
I don't know, because I've been really mean about their work. I don't know if I ever want to be able to talk to... You know what? Fuck it. I'll own up to it. I shouldn't say shit that I can't back up. So
that's right.
If you want to even come on the show, I'm not going to be a dick to them, obviously.
No, we'll be respectful. But we'll be like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, what were you thinking? What was the remit here?
What were you thinking?
Wait, did they tell you to, like, put tapioca and everything? What is this? Can we leave this? It's so bright. I hate this.
I've already moved on to the
this.
French. The French, I gotta say, they went wild. They went for something.
Sorry.
They had an idea. Dylan squeak.
It's so cute. It's like if a goblin. It's like if Slappy was was a goblin. Edition Monstruo 8.
It's like somebody, I don't know. It has like a Betty Boop.
Oh wait, am I on the wrong one? Look. I might be on the wrong one. Oh yeah, we're on the French one. Sorry, I was looking at the Spanish one. No, the French one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh. Man, people really love that red paintbrush. Huh.
I mean, it was a big part of the book.
Yeah.
But yeah. I like the... There's something about this one's smile that's... It doesn't seem explicitly evil, but it is...
He's gonna kill you, though.
Slappy.
But he's gonna probably be crying while he kills you. Like, he's just slowly stabbing you and being like, I did not want to do this. Step, step. Step, step, step. But also laughing. Like, he seems creepy as fuck. This is the creepiest cover. Also the most inaccurate. He's wearing a straight up just tie. Like a tie, a necktie.
And I feel like his ears are on backwards.
Do you notice? So his hair, his painted on hair has like the little Betty Boop thing they were talking about. It looks like two little curls, spit curls. But his shadow has horns.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because he's evil. It's fucking weird. It's real weird style. Stylistically, not at all what you'd expect. Well, if you'd looked at enough of these European covers, then yes, you would expect this. But I like it. I like it a lot. This might be my favorite so far.
I'm with you on that.
Non-Jacobus covers, but yeah.
And then you get to the Spanish one, which I think you're referring to, where it looked like a tiny goblin.
Yeah.
He's sitting on a ruffled couch.
Bowling pin head. Like, his head is so round, and he's got that tiny little chin. And he looks like he's sitting in a chair sized for him, too. So, like, it's this big, oversized armchair, but I feel like the armchair's dummy sized.
Still too small.
Yeah. So it's like he's inviting you into his little dummy house. Aww. Like, he looks mean, but he looks mean like a schoolyard bully, not like a weird, obsessed with slavery wooden dummy. That is the most upsetting thing about the dummies, that they want slaves. Isn't that a weird angle for them to go? Like, ugh.
They lean into it, too.
Yeah. Not very good at it.
It is strange.
Which is the funniest thing. They're really, really fucking bad at the slave thing, because they're constantly like, you're my slave. You're like, no. And that's how it always ends up. They're just like, no, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. It's like, no, that's not. You have no bones. You're not going to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
So that was the Spanish one. And then, we're not done yet. We got the Korean cover. And I got to say, they...
wow.
Not their usual, like, surrealist, hard to distinguish what's going on cover. This one is very sharp.
The shells. They brought the shells. Okay, so red paintbrush, yes. But the jar of shells. I can't believe that.
Remind me the shells.
It's in the first chapter, I think. Amy says that because it's for family share night, every Thursday night, they have family share night. And she's like, I don't have anything interesting. I just have my shell collection. But right. I don't want to just talk about shells for 5 minutes. They've already seen them. But, like, there they are. Right there on the cover of this book. I love this cover. It's really upsetting to me because they're just staring. I guess it's Dennis and Slappy sitting side by side on a chair, just staring straight out at the reader. And the house they're in is filthy.
Yeah, it reminds me of that scene from The Shining with the two twins at the end of the hall.
Yeah. I don't like that Dennis has like one faded eye. It's like how in like horror movies they'll be like, oh, this person's creepy because they have a cataract. Like, it's like Dennis has a cataract in one eye. Ugh. And his clothes are raggedy too. Ugh.
Yeah. Slappy looks a little like Matt Damon.
Yeah. Just also a little too excited. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know. Not my favorite of the bunch this time around, but I do think it's unique. I think I got to give it to the French. I like their little slouchy clown hanging out. I thought he was pretty well done.
You know what's funny? This is probably the most like the Jacobus cover, where it's just a dummy just staring you straight in the eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig it.
I think I would go with the Jacobus cover is my favorite. I know that you've turned sour on Jacobus. You hate his art now, but
come on.
I think it's probably my favorite Jacobus cover in a while.
And I hate him as a man. That's not true.
Don't say that.
I'd love to meet him. All right. Well, this is being a sequel. I figured it would only be fitting to kind of bring in the wrap up to the first book, even though they don't really connect very much. But at the very least, it lets me relive my favorite scene of a Goosebumps book to date, and it involved that steamroller you alluded to earlier. So let's see here. I basically copied and pasted the summary from the Google or the Goosebumps Wikia fandom. So if it sounds familiar, it's because someone listening to this probably wrote it.
Oh, yeah.
The girls try to decapitate the dummy. Now we're talking about, I believe, Slappy at this point. Maybe Mr. Wood.
Mr. Wood.
I guess Mr. Wood.
No, because Slappy's not evil at this point.
That's right. That is true. Decapitate Mr. Wood, but they are unable to harm him. Next, the girls trap Mr. Wood in a suitcase, bury him in the backyard. Since they're exhausted, Lindy and Chris, those were our two protagonist girls there,
monstrous twins,
go to sleep. Rough girls there. Lindy, though, had a rough, though. That kitchen scene still haunts me.
Oh, my God.
When the girls wake up next morning, they discover that Mr. Wood has freed himself and is waiting for them. Lindy and Chris seek help, but their parents have gone out. To show how serious he is, Mr. Wood begins to choke Barky, the family dog.
I forgot about that.
I know, Barky was the worst name ever. In an attempt to separate the two, the girls drag Mr. Wood and Barky outside. When Mr. Wood releases Barky, the girls chase the dummy into the path of a nearby steamroller being used for construction at the house next door. Mr. Wood dodges the first steamroller and tells them that both will be his slaves forever. He doesn't notice the second steamroller because they usually come in tandem.
It's true.
However, and it crushes Mr. Wood. A mysterious green mist rises from the smashed dummy's body. The alarmed driver, the poor alarmed blue-collar worker, put his earned sweat tears into this and has ostensibly crushed a baby. He jumps out of his steamroller and rushes out. Oh my God, I've killed a kid. But the kids assure him it was nothing more than a dummy. And then the girls and the dog go home. And when they get to the room, they find good old Slappy waiting for them, and Slappy asks if the other dummy is gone. So, there you go.
My guess is, after all that nonsense in that family about the dummies, the parents just got rid of Slappy. They're just like, we're going to take him back to the store. And the girls are just like, yay, and go on.
Do you think the green mist that came out of Mr. Wood wafted its way over inside of Slappy and made him evil?
Now, I'm going to assume it's whatever. I don't think he's Mr. Wood. No, Slappy's his own guy, I think. Maybe. Chapter 1.
Okay.
Of Night of the Living Dummy 2. The sequel to Monster Blood 4.
Wait, no, that's not true.
What? Oh, sorry. Oh, for the first Night of the Living Dummy. Yeah. So we've got a big family in this one. 3 whole kids, 2 parents.
Yeah. We haven't had this many kids since we were out in Nantucket with the ghost children on the beach.
And those weren't our kids, though.
Yeah, I mean, they were already dead, but I'm just saying.
Have we ever...
we had 3.
When was the last time we had 3... Was it the ghost next door?
I think somebody had siblings who were twins.
Well, that was the ghost next door. But that was... I feel we had someone since then, too. Because she had her 2 twin brothers, and they set fire to the house and burned everyone alive. Anyway... So we got Amy, Amy Kramer, Amy, no,
nope.
Age 12. She's telling us about family night, which is every Thursday. The Kramers get together, and this does sound like something that if I were a kid, I would definitely be bitching about having to do every Thursday. Also, my mom was always trying to do things with our family. It's like, hey, let's be a family, and I'd be like, no.
You know what's wild? After I read this, I went to my wife, and we're going to start having family sharing night.
Oh my god!
Mainly, I just want to see what my kid will share.
Oh, that's true.
But she'll hate it like these kids do eventually. But for now, it's cute.
Yeah. But so every week, everyone brings there's mom, dad, the kids all bring something to share. It's exciting. No one loves it. Oh, well, I feel like Sarah likes it. Sarah
loves it.
Is 14, older sister, good at painting, super good at painting. She's got a painting up at the museum in downtown Orkindale. I don't know where we are.
I don't think we have a name.
No, they mentioned Maine at one point, but that's just where they go vacationing, so I don't know. But and then there's Jed, who's the little brother, because our kid is the middle kid, so obviously trouble. And then Jed is like the baby of the family. He's 10. He's a little shit. He constantly does practical jokes, which I don't know if R.L. Stine knows what a practical joke is exactly, because he's just, anytime he has these kids playing practical jokes, they're either borderline crimes or just like, like later, the dad gets smacked in the face by Slappy's hand, and he's like, I don't like pranks. It's like, that's not a prank.
Just, sir, that is abuse.
Yeah, you just got slapped in the face.
That was assault. You can't do that.
But all the kids, Sarah, Jed, Amy, they're like, fuck this noise. And the parents are like, all right, that's, no. We're going to do family night. It's important for us to share. Yeah. And there's a cat named George who doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think.
It's a good name for a cat. I like it.
I mean, you do have a tendency to give, like, names to cats that were popular in the 50s. Like, just...
I love it.
Bernard, I feel like, would be a cat name that you would use.
Milton. That's what I really want to use next.
Oh, okay. There we go. But George never does anything. Because he probably just licks his butthole the whole time. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So Sarah does her painting usually. Jed, he once... got up and he burped real loudly, and they're like, what are you sharing? And Jed's like, I'm sharing my dinner.
Jed, you silly goose. Get out of here, you rascal.
Or embarrasses Amy by reading notes that were passed to her by the boy that she liked. Shit like that.
I'd have killed him for that, though.
Oh, yeah. Just straight up snapped his neck next time he's walking past the bathroom. Amy will often, like, share stories that she makes up. And her dad's just like, see, you're good at something. You're just like your sister that's actually good at something. You're kind of good at something too. But this Thursday, we also find out that mom was fucking somebody, because clearly Jed came from someplace else, because he's like red hair, green eyes, and everyone else in the family has black hair and like black eyes or whatever. I don't know. But like,
I thought that detail would come into play at some point. I wrote it down.
Well, I mean, the fact that he's like the baby of the family, and like the mom loves him the most because she's the child of the man she really loves, who's not dad, who looks like an egg being laid out of a sweater or whatever the fuck, because he's bald. Ugh. Gross. So anyway, Jed has red hair. He whistles through his fingers. He does the like thing that I can't do, and I wish I could do. So that's actually a pretty cool thing to share, I feel like. And then we've got to get a dummy into the plot somehow. And so Amy decides that she's going to share her ventriloquist act, which, if you're Travis and me, you're probably like, oh, fuck yeah, time for some great jokes. And guess what? You're right. There's going to be some great jokes. So let's start hearing them. We find out that Dennis is a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down. He's a little beat up. He's a piece of shit. He looks like garbage. A little loose around the joints. But we'll get there. How are you tonight, Dennis? I asked. Not too well. Okay, that's... sorry. That's too loud. Let's move the microphone back a little bit there. How are you tonight, Dennis? I asked. Not too well. I made the dummy reply in a high, shrill voice. Dennis's voice. Really, Dennis? What's wrong? I think I caught a bug. You mean you have the flu? I asked him. No, termites. Mom and Dad laughed. Sarah smiled. Jed groaned loudly. I turned back to Dennis. Well, have you been to a doctor? I asked him. No, a carpenter. Mom and Dad smiled at that one, but didn't laugh. Jed groaned again. Sarah stuck her finger down her throat, pretending to puke. No one liked that joke, Dennis, I told him. Who's joking? I made Dennis reply. This is lame, I heard Jed mutter to Sarah. She nodded her head in agreement. Let's change the subject, Dennis, I said, shifting the dummy to my other knee. Do you have a girlfriend? I leaned Dennis forward, trying to make him nod his head yes, but his head rolled right off his shoulders. His wooden head hit the floor with a thud and bounced over to George. The cat leaped up and scampered away. Sarah and Jed collapsed in laughter, slapping each other high fives. So, I feel like they waited no time before tearing in to Amy's act. Like...
yeah, right.
Like, you knew where it was going to fucking go. You can't just immediately... Like, her parents are just like, all right, wrap this up. Like, on the second joke, they're like, yeah, this is a mistake. We need to crush her ambitions on this one. But she's upset.
That's what makes her tough.
Amy's just like, hey, Dad, you promised you were going to get me a new dummy. And her dad's like, hey. Whoa. That shit's expensive, right? And this is the first time in like 6 months you brought that fucking thing out. I can't afford a $200 dummy in $1995.
Honestly, I don't even know what's the going rate for a...
I'm glad you asked.
I've never even seen one in a store in my life. I've never walked into a store that's had them, and I've been like, oh,
I've seen them.
That's not too bad.
And like really beat up ones in antique stores because I love antiquing, and I'm the kind of guy who looks for ventriloquist dummies while I'm antiquing. So,
that's different.
So I found a guy named Philip who makes puppets, and they look Slappy worthy. They look like if you went up to one of them, you'd be like, holy shit, is that Slappy? Let's see. It's so expensive, you have to fill out something to get a quote. He doesn't even post his prices. So let's not do that. Let's see if we can find one just on eBay.
You can get one from the Jeff Dunham store for $200 if you want to be a racist piece of shit.
You could get a rare 1930s Charlie McCarthy Willie Talk ventriloquist dummy puppet doll from Etsy for almost $1,000. So yeah. I think we're talking a few hundred to like $1,000 depending on. Although Slappy doesn't even do that much. His eyes just do the side to side. He doesn't have any like blinkers or whatever. So I feel like probably a few $100 for these little fucks. But so Sarah goes. She has a motherfucker. So Sarah's gonna go after she I feel like it's kind of bullshit that they can tear each other apart during their fucking share time.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like the parents should be like, hey guys, like we're fucking like
that doesn't feel fair at all.
Up and being vulnerable here. And it gets fucking mean in chapter 2. Like when Jed's fucking mean. Anyway, so
yeah, don't steal my thunder.
Sarah's got her got a painting, but it's still wet, so it's still up in her room from when she's working on. So she's like, hey guys, let's go up to my room and I'll share the painting. And it's a painting of their cabin up in Maine, as previously mentioned. They vacation in Maine. And so she had a photograph, and she's like, I made a painting. So they go all trumble upstairs. But then when Amy sees the painting for the first time with her eyeballs, she's like, ah! In horror. Bum, bum, bum. It's the first bum, bum, bum of a new season. I felt like
it felt good.
You're right. I wanted to stretch. I wanted to get in there.
I just was feeling that. That felt good. It's been a while. Yeah, it turns out on this the reason that Amy screams in horror there was because someone had left a big yellow and black smiley face. We've all seen Walmart. We've all been to Walmart. Yellow and black smiley face right there on the painting, which is not where that goes because we're talking. This is Maine. This is a cabin in Maine. There's no Walmart. I don't even think Walmart's in Maine.
Nope, just monsters if Stephen King can be believed.
That's right. Maine's a scary place. It's very close to Nova Scotia. And everyone assumes immediately, they're like, God damn it, Jed. God damn it, Jed. Why would you do this? Because no one else is going to do this. It's Jed all day. And it turns out it was Jed. He's like, you guys like it? Does that not rule? What I did there? Looks good, huh? And they were like, bro, no. This is very bad. And he was like, what? I thought it was too dark. I was trying to brighten it up a little bit, put a little smiley face on there. It was like a cabin in Maine, and, it needed to be, a little more uplifting. And Sarah's mad, as you could imagine. Someone who had painstakingly labored over a pretty painting of a cabin in Maine has now had a bit undone by her little brother's giant smiley face. And they go up, it's pretty rough. And parents tell Jed, they're like, dude, that's the worst thing you've ever done. Like, holy shit, we can't even right now. That's crazy that you would do such a fucking thing. Like, they're like, we don't really have a lot of hopes for you. Like, we love you, even though you're the mailman's kid. But, like, Sarah's the talented one. You can't be, they don't even, because Amy's the middle kid, they don't even include her in they're not even talking about her. She's already forgotten. They're like, Sarah's the talented one, and then there's the other girl. But you gotta stop, fucking doing this. And then at some point, after they deal with Jed, they're like, Jed, you're lucky we're going to let you sleep inside tonight. It is revealed at some point that Dad's talent, which apparently he unveils most Thursdays for family sharing night, is that he makes great Chinese food. And he calls himself the master of the wok. And I love him very much for that. I think that's the coolest thing.
We've done this show enough that I'm just like, I know exactly where Travis is going to get excited. And it's going to be when the dad's just like, I'm super good at Chinese cooking. Obviously, Jed. And I love how Jed was stepping over a line at this point already. He fucked up this painting. Then he's like, Dad, what the fuck's your talent, dipshit? And he's like, well, he made you, so maybe calm the fuck down, Jed, a little bit. But even Jed isn't going to be like, well, Dad, your talent's bullshit. Even he knew not to go that far. Like, no, Dad, your Chinese food's garbage.
Yeah.
Well, you find out his other talent later, too. Because I don't think they talk about it in the first chapter. I don't know when they talk about it, but it's his guitar playing that he's most known for in the family. But he's not good at that either. Remember? Oh, it's he's singing. It
was like a Beatles song, right?
No, it's oh my god, I can't remember the artist. Oh, wish I know what to say to you. Maggie's Farm.
Springsteen?
No. The fucking. You keep talking about the thing because now
It's not Rod Stewart?
Yes, Rod Stewart. Yes. Oh my god. Yes, he's clearly singing the Rod Stewart song later, but yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I also think maybe one of Dad's skills is continuing to love Jed despite him clearly not being his own son.
That's true.
So Sarah, she goes back to her room. She paints over the smiley face, tries to undo the graffiti. She's furious. Jed's in big trouble. He gets no movies this Saturday. And I bet that new Power Rangers movie's coming out. Maybe a Batman Forever. I don't know. It's 95. You decide. But no video games for a week, which would have killed me. I would have hung myself in the closet. But Dad declares, he's like, all right, that's it. Family sharing night tonight. We're done. All right. No more. And Amy sits by, watches Sarah repair her painting until Sarah's just kind of annoying, because then after a while she starts kind of talking herself up, like, how dare, whatever, I'm so talented, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, well, a little too much. And then Amy's like, I'm going to go call my friend Margot and she gets a late night bowl of Frosted Flakes for a snack.
Fuck yeah.
Girl, you know how much sugar's in those? Frosted
Delicious.
Flakes.
I love Frosted Flakes. I love cereal.
Oh, my God.
I miss cereal.
Me too, but I don't know, man. Just as a dad now, I'm like, no lemonade after 5.
All right.
Frosted Flakes at night?
Do you think he was going to go see a Goofy movie, which came out?
Oh, of course.
A Goofy movie.
Love it.
Or Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves?
Oh. I mean, it's got to be a Goofy movie. He's 10. That movie was cool as hell.
Tommy Boy?
Oh, maybe. Maybe Tommy Boy. Maybe he'd do double feature, Tommy Boy and Goofy movie.
Yeah, probably not Rob Roy.
No, I doubt that.
Braveheart?
Maybe. Wait, that was 95?
90, let's see. Well, this is domestic box offices for May 1995 on Box Office Mojo, so.
Braveheart was 95?
Let me.
That doesn't feel right.
May 24th, 1995.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be goddamn.
Honestly, I'm with you. I thought that was a 94 one for me. Like, I think for some reason I thought that was a little earlier, but I guess not.
Oh, I thought it was later. Well, shit. I guess.
Okay.
Fuck us.
Never mind. Tales from the Hood.
Anyway,
also. I'm just going to imagine Jed watching Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, she eats her cornflakes or her Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
And somehow manages to get in bed and kind of drift off to sleep a little bit. But through sort of a half sleep, and those Frosted Flakes keeping her just enough awake, she sees, get this, she sees an ugly, grinning face peering at her through her bedroom window. Bum, bum, bum.
It's Dennis. Or specifically, it's Dennis's head. But who could have put him there? All right, so here's something I was just thinking about. The first book, you and I were just like, is this motherfucker Slappy or is it Mr. Wood? Because we knew Slappy's the villain. But the whole book, Slappy does jack shit into the last page. And it's Mr. Wood the whole time. So that book, our expectations were like throwing us the fuck off. This time, we know for sure it's fucking Slappy. So all of this is just wasting our time. Dennis's head. True. Who's fucking up? It's all Jed. Who is it? Who put Dennis's head on the windowsill? Not Slappy, because he's not here. It's Jed. So Jed comes lurking out of the corner. He's like, meh, I scared you. Meh. I don't know why he laughs like an insane goat, but that is how Jed laughs. It's kind of I don't even really feel like it's fucking that big of a scare or whatever. Like, Amy just seemed to be like, meh. And then she's just like, Jed, go fuck yourself. And Jed's apparently mad because he thought it should be them against Sarah. Because she's like, fucking Sarah. She's always she got her nose so far at mom's butthole that's sticking out her mouth. Like, ugh.
Yeah. So far.
Ugh. And Amy's just like, no, you shouldn't fuck with her paintings like that, dipshit. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Come on.
That was gross, dude.
Yeah, that does. I do love how, like, that was set up as, like, the parents being, like, unacceptable to fuck with Sarah's paintings like that. And then Slappy gets there, no spoilers. I won't spoil it. So, they go back to bed. But then 2 days later, Dad comes walking up the front walk with a long package under his arm. And Amy's just like, only one thing can come in a package like that. A new baby brother. But it's not. It's a fucking ventriloquist dummy. And Dad, he comes in there, he's like, bam. You're welcome. And that's when the real trouble trouble? Trouble. And that's when the real trouble fucking fuck. And that's when the real And that's when the real trouble began. Bum bum bum.
There it is. There it is. Oh my God. Well, we'll get to that trouble here in a little bit. First, we're going to take a little detour. I'm going to tell you about Margot. Now, Margot, that's Amy's best friend there at school, and she's apparently this is important. She's small.
Never comes up. That could have come up as
does.
like a dummy thing. Like, oh.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Every
totally thought.
Child that was small, Jed or Margot, I was writing it down.
Do we ever meet Margot?
No, she's always on the phone. Well, maybe. I think we see her at the party for a little bit.
Yeah, it takes like 20 chapters before she sees her at school. Yeah, and that's right. That she's at the party house, the Dean Coral party house.
But she's described as petite, being a whole foot shorter than Amy. But she's very smart, and she's a huge Beatles fan. None of that matters, but boy, it was paragraphs worth of detail. Now, Margot's dad, now this is kind of important. Now, he's a strict old fella. Old Margot's dad runs a tight ship over there because he runs a party house. And it's as weird as it sounds. It's actually a house where people just rent rooms from the old house, and they throw parties in there. Which actually seems like a neat idea.
Yeah,
a lot of bad things are going to happen in there.
I could see that being like one of those like small business concept ideas that does very well, and like it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, that's actually I could see that working. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you could do like receptions and like the birthday parties, but you gotta keep it out of the hands of some
the farther up you go, like maybe it's adults only on the top floor. That's where you have like the cages.
Okay, all right, yeah. So anyway, this party house, it's kind of neat, I guess. People can rent those rooms, throw some parties, and then out of nowhere, Margot's like, my dad might have a job for you, Amy. And Amy's like, whoa, I don't want any part of what your dad does. Oh, and he goes, actually, there's going to be a kids' party.
Well, that's because Margot had just finished being like, Dad gives me the worst jobs, like taking out the garbage, washing dishes, scraping clown cum off the bathroom walls, whatever. She's just like, it sucks working there. By the way, my dad has a job for you, maybe. And good sell, Margot.
Yeah, good job, Margot. But actually, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with chiseling crusty clown jizz off anything. This is actually just entertaining kids at the party there. And Margot knows that Amy's real big into ventriloquist dolls. In fact, at that age, I'm sure all the kids know about Amy being weird like that. They don't want anything to do with her. And Margot's brave for the friendship. But Amy's like, oh, well, that could be a problem because Dennis's goddamn head falls off all the time, and the kids don't want to see that. Probably, we get to doing the dummy thing there, and his head rolls off, and all the kids are probably going to cry and be traumatized. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Margot's like, you're right about that. That seems pretty fucked up. You should get a new dummy. Amy's like, well, I'm working on it. And about that time, perfect timing, Dad shows up with a brand spanking new dummy. Here comes a description of it here. The dummy had wavy brown painted on top of his wooden head. I studied his face. It was kind of strange, kind of intense. His eyes were bright blue, not faded like Dennis's. He had bright red painted lips, curved into an eerie smile. His lower lip had a chip on one side so that it didn't quite match the other lip. As I pulled him from the box, the dummy appeared to stare into my eyes. The eyes sparkled. The grin grew wider. I felt a sudden chill. Why does this dummy seem to be laughing at me, I wondered. I held him up, examining him carefully. He wore a gray, double-breasted suit over a white shirt collar. The collar was stapled to his neck. He didn't have a shirt. Instead, his wooden chest had been painted white. Big, black leather shoes were attached to the ends of his thin, dangling legs. Dad, he's great, I exclaimed. I found him in a pawn shop, Dad said, picking up the dummy's hand and pretending to shake hands with it. How do you do there, Slappy? Slappy? Is that his name? That's what the man in the store said, Dad replied. He lifted Slappy's arms, examining his suit. I don't know why he sold Slappy so cheaply. He practically gave the dummy away. I turned the dummy around and looked for the string in his back that made his mouth open and close. He's excellent, Dad, I said. I kissed my dad on the cheek. Thanks. Do you really like him? Dad asked. Slappy grinned up at me. His blue eyes stared into mine. He seemed to be waiting for an answer. Yes, he's awesome, I said. I like his serious eyes. They look so real. The eyes move, Dad said. They're not painted on like Dennis's old shitty fucking eyes. They don't blink, but they move from side to side. I reached my hand inside the dummy's back. Oh, how do you make his eyes move? I asked. The man showed me, Dad said. It's not hard. First you grab the string that works the mouth. I've got that, I told him. Then you move your hand up into the dummy's head there, and there's a little lever up in there. You feel it? Push on it, and the eyes will move in the direction you push. Oh, okay, I'll try, I said. Slowly, I moved. Am I supposed to read this whole thing? Because I am. Okay. Slowly, I moved my hand up inside the dummy's back, through the neck, and into his head. I stopped and let out a startled cry as my hand hit something soft. Something soft and warm. His brain! Oh, bum, bum, bum.
So her dad reaches inside of Slappy's old noggin, and he pulls something out that's green and slimy, and it's an old sandwich. Which...
It's very gross.
It is. And it's just
the way they describe it is gross.
Well, it's... Part of me is just like, it would have made more sense if it was like a dead rat or something. Like something that I could have gotten inside of Slappy and died. And that would have been unsettling and upsetting. The sandwich is gross, though. I gotta dig it. Yeah. They're both just like, go through the dummy again to make sure there's nothing else disgusting. And it seems he's fine. Dad is still grossed out and goes to wash his hands 6 or 7 more times because obviously OCD. And Amy, she spots a piece of paper in his pocket. And she's just like, I wonder what's on this piece of paper. I'm just going to do something I've never done before or ever will since. I'm going to read it out loud. How many times have you picked up a piece of paper and you're just like, oh, this is a receipt to a restaurant that I went to on May 3rd. Like, do you ever read shit out loud? Yeah, okay.
Never. Also, this the words remind me of the words from the Mummy book. I don't think it's the exact phrasing, but I think a couple of, like, the Karumari, that sounds familiar.
I mean, there also there were magic words in the first, I don't remember what those were, and I'm not looking that up, but...
that's right, yeah.
I mean, there's trivia at the end of this that explains that, but... So, she finds the piece of paper in his pocket, she takes out the piece of paper, and she's like, Karumari Odona Loma Malula Karara! Blood flies from her mouth as she chants these just forbidden words, and the earth crackles with unnatural energies, and Slappy's one eye slowly winks. Well, so most of that doesn't happen. She reads the words out loud, and then Slappy's one eye slowly winks. Bum, bum, bum.
That's right.
Bum.
That's right.
Bum.
And then Amy tells Dad about the eyes. She's like, you see that shit? That's crazy. You see those eyes? And Dad's like, I don't think those blinked on their own. Maybe something's loose. Dad's trying to fix it. He's got a problem. He wants to fix it. So he inspects it. See, he's like, there's got to be something in here I can tighten. Is there another sandwich in here that I can tighten up? And then, while he's doing that, the dummy smacks him right upside his stupid old dad face. And Dad's like, God damn it! And he thinks Amy did it as a joke. He's like, Amy, how? Fuck, what the? You could have knocked one of my golden teeth out. Because Dad had golden teeth. I don't know. And, Dylan has found a soundboard over here with a horn that made a sad noise, and it made me laugh. Dad,
I'm sorry. Dad, I've been waiting for like 10 minutes to I found that Discord has its own soundboard, and I was just like, fuck it, sad horn.
I mean, it was good timing because Dad was upset, and so she's like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't do it on purpose or whatever." I think Slappy did. I don't remember what she says, but anyway, they spruce up Slappy. They spray it down with a little bit of Lysol, get that sandwich stench out, and then after the fact, Amy calls Margot, and she's like, "You know what? I'm in. I've got a brand new dummy, and I'm ready to go. I've got all the sandwiches out of him, and I think I'm ready for this party. And she's like, I'm going to practice my ventriloquist routine. We'll come up with some new jokes, and we'll come up there and we'll fucking kill those kids. And Margot's like, easy. And she's like, no, it's a comedy thing. You kill like an audience when they laugh. And then, it's Thursday night's coming up, and that's family sharing night. That's big. That's big. Jed's gross with his spaghetti, and they just go ahead and, I think, accept that as an entry, like whatever. Sarah's talking about her report card and her painting, some shit she submitted to some contest. No one cares. And then Amy, she's going to get up and do the dishes there, and Amy, what the fuck am I saying here? She goes to do the dishes, and out of the corner of her eye, she sees her dummy, crawling across the living room floor. Now, dummies are supposed to do that. Dumb.
Sorry. Isn't it great that there's no way anyone else can enjoy that? It was Jed. So just because she read out some spooky words, you don't think a dummy would come to life, do you? Well, apparently Amy does. Amy's a real dumb dummy. So everyone's like, holy shit, hilarious Jed. He had taken Dennis's head, and he was wearing a turtleneck, and he had Dennis push Dennis so it looked like he was Dennis crawling around on the floor. Everyone's just like, Amy, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but like, Jed wins this round. And he's like, it's not funny. And it's just like, it really is Amy. I'm sorry, but I'm on the family side on this point, because like, that's on you. That's on you. So it's once again, it's family sharing night. Week goes by real quick in this family. Mom tells a story about how this big fat woman comes like barging through, just a big old, just big old thunder tit lady, just being like, boom, boom, get out a bowl of titties, doom,
yeah, girl, yeah, what that do?
And
yeah,
because mom works, thunders, I guess, but so her mom works in a clothing store proprietor, and she's just like, yeah, and then she busted out all these clothes because she's so big, and then she bought them all anyway because she's getting them for her sister. And everyone's just like, yeah, that's funny. And Amy's just like, I don't get why we're making fun of fat people, because mom's real fat herself, and she doesn't like it when people make fun of her weight, so I feel like this is kind of hypocritical of her, but whatever. Dad gets real upset about being made fun of his baldness, but he also made fun of the fat lady in Mom's story, so I feel like his comeuppance is due. So
that's true. That is true.
It's Amy's turn, because Jed got out of family sharing by being like, I did the dentist thing, and they're just like, okay, fine. I love how even the parents were like, we don't want to see what Jed's going to come up with on the fly, because he's either going to shit himself and be like, guys, let me share breakfast with you. I'm like, no, Jed. So, time for some ventriloquism. I've been practicing all week, and I knew the jokes by heart. But as I slipped my hand into Slappy's back and found the string, my stomach felt all fluttery. I cleared my throat and began. This is Slappy, everyone, I said. Slappy, say hi to my family. Hi, my family, I made Slappy say. I made his eyes slide back and forth. They all chuckled. This dummy is so much better, Mom commented. But it's the same old ventriloquist, Sarah said cruelly. Fucking brutal, Sarah.
Boom.
I loved it. I thought that was a good one, honestly. That's
a good singer. Come on.
And I feel like if she was a good ventriloquist, she should have been able to clap back at Sarah right there, but she didn't. She just got owned. So,
right? Yeah.
I glared at her. Just joking, my sister insisted. I think that dummy reeks, Jed chimed in. Give Amy a break, Dad said sharply. I spent a lot of money on that. Go ahead, Amy. I cleared my throat again. And suddenly felt very dry. Slappy and I are going to tell some knock-knock jokes, I announced. I turned to face Slappy and made him turn his head to me. Knock, knock, I said. Knock it off, came the harsh reply. Slappy spun around to face my mom. Hey, don't break the couch! Fucking fuck! Slappy spun around to face my mom. Do you ever leave in my insane rantings and then I just kind of go back into it? Oh, yeah. Because I don't remember all the times I lose my mind. Slappy spun around to face my mom. Hey, don't break the sofa, fatso, he rasped. Why don't you skip the french fries and have a salad once in a while? Cha-cha-cha! Huh? Mom gasped in shock. Amy, that's not funny, Dad cried angrily. I'm going to have to do so much. Just, no, honey, I don't know where she got that from. Like, it's okay. You're not fat. You're beautiful. I love you. Why? Don't listen to Amy. She's a little shit.
It's going to be. That's an uphill climb.
Mm-hmm. What's your problem, Baldy? Slappy shouted. Is that your head, or are you hatching an ostrich egg on your neck? That's enough, Amy, Dad cried, jumping to his feet. Stop it, right now. But, Dad, I sputtered. Why don't you put an extra hole in your head and use it for a bowling ball? Slappy screamed at Dad. Your jokes are horrible, Mom exclaimed. They're hurtful and insulting. It's not funny, Amy, Dad fumed. It's not funny to hurt people's feelings. But, Dad, I replied, I didn't say any of that. It wasn't me. It was Slappy. Really, I wasn't saying it. I wasn't. Slappy raised his head. His red-lipped grin appeared... Slappy raised his head. His red-lipped grin appeared to spread. His blue eyes sparkled. Did I mention you are all ugly? He asked. Kind of ended on a weak note there, Slappy. Bum, bum, bum! It's just, I like how it's just like some very pointed insults. And he's like, I don't have a lot of time. You're all ugly. Thank you very much.
I wonder if that was Arlstein he's writing, he gets to page 120, and he's like, I'm going to have to go back and take out some of those insults.
Yeah.
I'm out of real estate here. Dang. Well, everyone's mad. Everyone's very upset at Amy. And, because, it looks like she did this. Dummies can't talk on their own.
I'm curious about what's happening to Amy. Because she seems confused, too, where she's just like, was that me? It's like, what do you mean, was that you? Do you not know? Like, was it Slappy? Or was it you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't do this. It wasn't me. This can't be Slappy. What is happening? And Mom's like, did you really think that was funny? Did you think that would hurt my feelings to call me fatso? And Jed, he is loving it. This is the funniest thing Jed has ever seen in his fucking life. Is his sister, the oft-forgotten middle child, getting up there and just spitting hate at the whole family through a dummy. He can't stand it. He's loving it. Sarah's mad. She's cross-legged against the wall, pissed off. Dad's kind of like... Right now, Dad this whole time's just been sweating hot, just trying to think of what to say. But eventually, they're like, everybody just be quiet. And Amy's in big trouble. And Dad ends sharing night. He's like, this is fucking over. And Sarah doesn't even get to go. She probably had a sweet painting lined up, but not today, Sarah. So she doesn't get to do anything. And then Amy gets sent back to her room, and then she's just staring at Slappy like, what's up with you, man? What was that all about? Was that me? Was that you? Do you bring out the worst in me? Or do I bring out the best in you? Like something about him seems off. The eyes are too real. The mouth, he's a little too evil. And so she's like, fuck that. And she turns him around and makes him face the wall away from her. Can't stand looking at him. Thursday night had been totally awful, but Friday night was much worse. Bum, bum, bum.
So, we kind of start in media res, and our next day at school, drops her lunch tray, gets food all over her brand new white shoes. Shitty day. Plus, it's fucking report card day. She's got 2 C's on her report card. Sarah's got all A's. And she keeps fucking being like, hey, do you see what my report... It says like A math. You think that's bad English, A math, A English. But no, that's just because I got A's and everything. Like, that's A geometry. Like, that's just my grades are all great, Amy. What did you get? C? I could see what you got. You should use that for your act, maybe. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. So Sarah's an asshole. So Amy's just like coming up with lies or whatever. And so she's just like, oh, everyone got C's because Mrs. Carson's a dumbhead, and she just graded everyone's C's to be fair. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that excuse that the teacher was so bad. But she was just like, guys, to be fair, everybody's got to suck.
Yeah. So, no. But her parents don't buy it. They're just like, okay, dipshit. First, you made fun of your mom, and you're just super hurtful to me, so you can't go anywhere until you finish your fucking science project. She calls Margot. Margot's like, bruh, my dad got a super sweet birthday party, and he needs some child labor to entertain these children. So are you down? And Amy's like, yeah, okay, I can do that. I'll do that. I'd like to get paid money to be fucking whatever. Remember how the girls from the first book were so excited about getting gigs, and meanwhile Amy's just like, I don't really fucking want to do that. Meanwhile, Kirsty and Lindy, or whatever the fuck their names were just like, book my first gig, motherfucker. And she's like, I got a even bigger gig at the convention center downtown, so whatever. Like, they're true performers. Like, those two were just like at each other's throats. Meanwhile, Amy's just like, I don't. She is a hobbyist, all right? She's not a professional ventriloquist. She just needs to own up to it. It's fine.
That's fair.
I also love how Margot is constantly just like, what the fuck did you do, bro? You didn't do your science project yet? He's like, no, not really. It's like, it's 2 weeks late. To be honest, that was me. So, whatever. Because later she'll be like, I can't come over because I'm grounded for 6 months. And Margot's like, what the fuck did you do? Like, what did you do? And Amy's like, I can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it. No.
So Amy's working on the science project. She's trying to make it super fancy. She's got the clear plastic binder that Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes is always big on. Like, get the clear plastic binder, get that thing. But then she's like, you know what would make this pop? Not facts or data, but pretty pictures on the cover. I'm going to go get some markers. So she goes into Sarah's room, because Sarah obviously has all the art supplies. She gets a bunch of markers, because Amy's markers are dried out. She did have a good excuse. All right. So she goes in there. She gets some markers. Jed's like, what the fuck you doing in there? What you doing? Setting fires? Killing animals? What you doing in there? I like to go in there sometimes too, and I do things too. What are you doing? And she's like, shut the fuck up, Jed. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. She gets in, gets out. Later, Sarah comes home from shopping. She's just like, man, I'm so glad about my report card grades. It's so great. I'm the best painter in the whole house. Everyone loves me. I'm the best. Goes home. Her room is trashed like a motherfucker. Paint's everywhere. Carpet's ruined. It's so much yellow. Like, the window's broken. There's like fucking Nazi symbols painted on the walls. It's real fucked up. Like, someone like knocked over the religious statuary, and like the Virgin Mary statue got knocked over. Like, it's real fucking messed up, man. Like, Sarah's room is like on fire, bro. It's not cool. Mom's just like, what the fuck, Jed? Like, it is funny because it's the moment she sees the damage. She's like, Jed, get your fucking ass right over. I don't care if you're the mailman's son. You get over here. Special package in my ass. Get over here. Jed's just like, hey. Look at these hands. Pristine. I didn't do this shit. I didn't touch this shit. But you know what I'm willing to do? I'll roll over on Amy immediately. She stopped by the room, and she didn't tell me why she wanted to go in there. I bet that means she wanted to shit on everything. I'm just putting that out there. It was Amy. Bum, bum, bum.
Now everyone's mad at Amy. And it seems a little flimsy, because I feel like Jed didn't have a great alibi. It's a bit of a he said, she said, situation there. And she's firmly denying it. She's like, I didn't do this. And Mom's like, this is sick. This is sick. She cannot stand it.
Well, Amy talks herself into getting into trouble. She should have fucking lawyered up. But instead, she said, no, I was just getting markers. See, here's the mark. Right, now you just placed yourself at the scene.
She put herself at the scene. Not supposed to do that, dude. She puts herself there. She's like, I didn't do it. And Mom's like, Amy, no one else could have. If Jed didn't do it. And she's like, but I only came in here to borrow markers. And it's like, bitch, come on, man. So she makes a big point of going to get the markers that she borrowed, which we didn't need that as evidence to further prove that you were at the scene of the crime, Amy, but you did. And there's a lot of back and forth where Mom's real mad, She starts making clucking noises with her tongue, and presses her hands again to do it, just make it just mad seizures is how upset mom
when
is.
your parents just like get apoplectic when they're just like incapable of talking, that's when you're just like, as a kid, I feel like that's when you start talking even faster because like, man, if I put out enough words, it'll be nope.
It's rough, and then mom's like, somebody here had to do this, and the only ones here were you, me, and Jed, and for some reason I believe Jed. I didn't do this horrible thing. And she's like, Mom, I'm not a sicko. And the mom's like, you are a sicko, you little sicko freak. And she's like, I'm not, Mom. She's like, we're going to send you to a home. And it goes, and then finally Amy breaks down and she's sobbing into her pillow and it's all snotty and cryy and wet and full of tears. And she's so sad and mad. And then she gets up and blowing snot out of her face. She's so sad and grounded and sad about it. And she notices Slappy. He's fucking turned back around. Remember earlier, she faced him toward the wall because he looked creepy. Now he's facing her. She's like, wait, did I turn him? I don't know. I've been crying a while. I don't know did I turn him around? Wait a minute. His shoes. They have paint on them. Bum, bum, bum.
So it's Thursday again. So family sharing night. And Dad is sharing his feelings, which are that he's pretty upset. His head is beet red from chin to top, just a glowing red light bulb of a man, just infuriated. Amy's crying. She's just like, look at Slappy's shoes. There's blood on his shoes. And her parents are just like, Jesus Christ, oh no. Oh, we've heard if you don't pay enough attention to the middle one, they go a little screwball. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Dad's just like, oh man.
He's like, there's no getting this one back. You can tell Dad's like, 2 out of 3
yeah,
kids.
It's basically like, thank God we got so many, huh? So they start talking about taking her psychiatrist. They ground her for 2 weeks. No movies, no Margot, no mall, no trips, no nothing. Her siblings turn their backs on her. Jed's just like, fuck you, psycho. You went too far. I know where the line is. Then now you went too far over it. Sarah's obviously is not talking to her crazy sister who tried to murder her with paint. And Amy's just like, I wish I was dying, so everyone would be like, oh, there, Amy. It's just like an...
Yeah, I thought that was kind of sad. She didn't say dying. She said, she wishes she was like really sick,
that she meant
so
dying.
that people would feel sorry for her. Dying. But yeah, that's like. But what's interesting about that is like that's a fun thing to add because kids are selfish like that.
Or
like,
this is looming Munchausen's.
I remember being a kid and also
I'm
feeling
just saying
that
this
way.
Is looming Munchausen's. Like later in life, she's gonna be like, I know.
Oh yeah.
I'll have a crazy dummy
for sure. But I've had my parents be mad at me before, and then I'm like, "Oh, I don't feel good," and they're like, "Yeah, well, we don't care because we're mad." I'm like, "Oh, I guess that didn't work."
Is that your childhood that we're hearing about right now? Or... Did I tell you my grandma actually caught like a Munchausen's by proxy motherfucker in like Virginia? Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's. Oh, she did. Oh, okay. I took that as she caught it like it's COVID. She got the Munchausen's by proxy while in Virginia.
No, my cop grandma.
I was like, damn, I didn't even know you could like by proxy the by proxy.
My grandmother, who is a cop, caught a woman who was smothering her children to get attention.
Oh, no thanks on that. It gives me the goosebumps.
So her parents are still gonna So her parents strangely, this keeps happening where parents are just like, you've done something horrendous as a child, but I'm still going to let you perform with your dummy on stage for shits and giggles, I guess. Like, I feel like the dummy is a part of the problem. Like, she acted out last Thursday with her dummy, but they're letting her go to the party house to perform and earn money. I don't know. Maybe Margot's dad was just like, no, you don't understand. I've got kids waiting for her. No. What am I going to tell the kids? That Amy and Slappy aren't going to be there? No. So she's going to go. Saturday, Amy gets dropped off. There's about 10 kids there, Not bad for a birthday party situation. Good turnout, There's probably a couple of adults and stuff there too, so good word of mouth, But she's a little nervous. She's an adult. She's stage. She gets a little butterflies. But then she's working the crowd ahead of time. Good read, good way to soften them up a little bit. Goes up to the birthday girl. Hey, little birthday girl. What's your name? Oh, Alicia. Hey, Alicia. How old you gonna be today? Alicia, 3. Oh, shit. That's amazing. So Amy's just like, hey, would you like to shake hands with Slappy? I asked. Alicia nodded. I lowered the dummy a little. I pushed forward Slappy's right hand. Go ahead, I urged Alicia. Take his hand. Alicia reached up and grabbed Slappy's hand. She giggled. Happy birthday, Slappy said. Alicia shook his hand gently. Then she started to back away. We can't wait to see your show, Alicia's mother said to me. I know the kids are going to love it. I hope so, I replied. My stomach fluttered again. I was still really nervous. Let go, Alicia cried. She tugged at Slappy's hand. She giggled. He won't let go. Alicia's mom laughed. What a funny dummy. She grabbed Alicia's other hand. Let go of the dummy, honey. We have to get everyone in their seats for the show. Alicia tugged a little harder. But he won't let go of me, Mommy, she cried. He wants to shake hands. Alicia gave a hard tug, but her tiny hand was still wrapped up inside Slappy's. She giggled. He likes me. He won't let go. Oh, look, her mother said, glancing to the door. Phoebe and Jennifer just arrived. Let's go say hi. Alicia tried to follow her mom, but Slappy held tight to her hand. Alicia's smile faded. Let go, she insisted. I saw that several kids had gathered around. They watched Alicia tug at Slappy's hand. Let go! Let me go! Alicia cried angrily. I leaned over to examine Slappy's hand. To my surprise, it appeared that his hand had clenched tightly around hers. Alicia gave a hard tug. Ow! He's hurting me, Mommy! More kids came over to watch. Some of them were laughing. 2 little dark-haired boys exchanged frightened glances. Please, make him let go, Alicia wailed. She tugged again and again. I froze in panic. My mind whirred. I tried to think of what to do. Had Alicia gotten her hand caught somehow? Slappy's hand couldn't really close around hers. Could it? Alicia's mother was staring at me angrily. Please, let Alicia's hand out, she said impatiently. He's hurting me, Alicia cried. Ow, he's squeezing my hand. The room grew very quiet. The other kids were all watching now, their eyes wide, their expressions confused. I didn't know what to do. I had no controls for I had no control for Slappy's hands. My heart pounded in my chest. I tried to make a joke of it. Slappy really likes you, I told Alicia. But the little girl was sobbing now. Little tears rolled down her cheeks. Mommy, make him stop. I pulled my hand out from Slappy's back. I grabbed his wooden hand between my hands. Let go of her, Slappy, I demanded. I tried pulling the fingers open, but I couldn't budge them. What is wrong? Alicia's mother was screaming. Is her hand caught? What are you doing to her? He's hurting me, Alicia wailed. Ow, he's squeezing me. Several kids were crying now. Mothers rushed across the room to comfort them. Alicia's sobs rose up over the frightened cries of the other 3-year-olds. The harder she tugged, the tighter the wooden hand squeezed. Let go, Slappy, I shrieked, pulling his fingers. Let go, let go! I don't understand, Alicia's mother cried. She began frantically tugging my arm. What are you doing? Let her go, let her go! Ow! Alicia... Oh, fucking moaning children. Oh! Ow! Ow! Alicia uttered a high, heartbreaking wail. Ow! Make him stop! It hurts! It hurts! And then Slappy suddenly tilted his head back. His eyes opened wide, his mouth opened in a long, evil laugh. Bum, bum, bum!
Oh, shit. Dude, she bolts. Which is in my mind, that's exactly what I would have done. Like, as soon as we get this thing out of here, I'm busting down the screen door. I'm just on foot, dude, just booking it. She just hops on a bus. She doesn't know where it's going. She boards a bus. She gets off the bus, realizes she's about 6 blocks from her house, runs the rest of the way. And she gets home and she throws Slappy into the closet, never wanting to see him again. But it's like, I would have probably just left him on the fucking bus. She has a pretty strong sense that he's the reason this is happening, given the whole, 2 episodes that have happened and his paint-covered feet. Leave him on the bus. You ain't got to bring him home. Just tell your dad you fucking lost him. Don't worry about it anymore. Dad'll be mad, but is that better than a dummy that controls your you know? Anyway, she can't stop thinking about this little girl screaming with her little red swollen hand. Oh, it's just getting to her. It's sad. The little girl, she just a little innocent bystander. She was excited. It was a birthday party, and then now it's ruined. Margot's dad had to ask her. He was like, "You just fucking get on out this house." And Amy was always like, "Yeah, I'm already booking it." When it happened, he figured that the kids were probably too afraid of Slappy, and Amy's, she's crying in her room. She's upset. Mom and Sarah come to check on her. She's like, they see that she's upset. They're still like, "Hey, Amy, how was your show?" And she's sobbing, and they're like, "Oh, it'll go better next time." They have no idea she didn't even get to a show.
Have you ever bombed that, like, leading up to a show made someone cry before you even got on stage?
No, that'd be rough. No, I've not done that.
But it's like,
no, that would be
the woman that's there for a bachelorette party or something, and you're just like, "Hey, so getting married," and she's like, "Wah!" And you're like, "Oh no, now I have to get on stage." That's never happened.
No, thank God, no. I have seen other people bomb before me, and I'm like, well, this is going to be rough. I'll just be joining the graveyard with the other comedians after this. But nothing
before the show never
upset anybody
ruined
prior.
things so badly that tail spinned out. I mean, that's something to look forward to then.
Yeah. Although there is a guy who does comedy around here, and he's in a scooter. He rides a scooter. He's got cerebral palsy, and I had done a headline show a month before, and then we go back to the same venue. I run into him there, and I was eating at a table. He was behind me. He had gotten into a stool, and he fell out of his stool. And I saw it happen, but I froze. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do." And then other people rushed over and helped him up and get back into his chair. Then I didn't see him for like 6 months, and then he sees me at a venue. He gets on stage and he goes, "Hey, back there's Travis Terry. Went to see him do a headline show, and then the next time he saw me, I fell into the floor, and he's the only one that saw me, and he didn't help me up." And everyone was like, "Boo, fuck that guy. Ooh, gross, fuck him." But I know the guy. He was giving me a hard time, but no one else knew that. They just thought it was a hate crime. And so then when I get up on stage, I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, that was me." I was like, "Listen, I don't know Garrett that well. I thought maybe that's how he took naps. I didn't know. I didn't realize he fucking missed his whole scooter." And then I told him, I was like, "I swear to God, if I'm honest with you all, out of the corner of my eye, I thought he fucking bounced back into it. I didn't know that he was on the floor." So I think I got him back. But there was a point where I went up on stage and people thought that I committed a hate crime.
Oh. I love that because
anyway.
It's like, it's even funnier after the fact. But God, I don't envy the fact that you had to go through all that to get that story.
Yeah. Thankfully, I was quick on my feet there, clawed my way out. But he and I are good. He actually put me on a show recently, and he let me headline. Anyway, where were Margot? Let's see. They're like, "Hey, Amy, what's wrong? Why are you crying with your dummy? Or where's your dummy? Where'd your dummy go? Did you lose it?" And she lets it out, and she's like, she tells her, she's like, "Yeah, I was on stage. I wasn't even on stage, and the dummy grabbed the child and started to murder the child." And Mom consoles her. She's like, "Oh, there's no way it was the dummy. Hey, it was just the little girl's hand got caught, and the parents overreacted, and Slappy couldn't have done anything. He's a doll, honey. It's fine. Don't worry about it." And Amy's like, okay, she knows better at this point than to say, "Bullshit. No way. Slappy's real." And he grabbed the little girl. She's like, she just lets it be. And Sarah's kind of looking at Amy like, "Girl, you weird. You weirder than I thought you were." And later that night, Margot calls. She feels bad about the whole thing. She's like, "Shit, Dad feels bad. I mean, we all know it was an accident. The parents, they overreacted maybe a little bit about this thing. Just her little hand got caught. We want to give you another shot, make it right. Maybe with some older kids. Maybe some older kids, older kid party. And Amy's like, listen, I'm weaning myself off of Slappy. I've been slapless for an hour. I'm not going to do Slappy again ever. I'm out. I'm off the Slappy. I don't do ventriloquism anymore. And Margot's like, are you sure? Because fucking, she's like, I'm sure, Margot. Piss off. I'm going to bed. So she goes to sleep. Slappy's over there in the closet, which he should be on a bus bound for Albuquerque, but he's in the house. He's in the closet. Closet shut tight. She's like, well, I feel safer with him in the closet, I guess. I'm going to go to sleep. So she sleeps well, which I'm envious of because I've not done that since I was probably her age. She sleeps. She has a good night's sleep. And then the next morning, she wakes up to her sister Sarah screaming, Mom, Dad, hurry, come see what Amy did now. Bum, bum, bum.
Man, that really torques my shit after we find out later. I didn't know she fucking was, like, I forgot that she was just like, look what that bitch did. Later, you're just like, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, we'll get there. No spoilers. No spoilers, all right?
Oh, my God. I never thought. Now I'm mad.
Fuck Sarah. So, Amy's just like, shit. What's going to happen now? She goes down, and then, you know what? I'm just going to let R.L. Stine tell you what happens next. Oh, no! I heard Mom and Dad shriek. I want to know what Dad's shriek actually is like. Oh! I stopped in the doorway, peered in, and gasped. Sarah's bedroom walls, they were smeared with red paint. Someone had taken a thick paintbrush and had scrawled Amy, 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 Amy in huge red letters all over Sarah's walls. No, fucking moaning children. Why do they have to moan so much? No. I just did Darth Vader. No! I moaned. I covered my mouth with both hands to stop the sound. My eyes darted from wall to wall, reading my name over and over. Amy, 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 Amy. Why my name? I suddenly felt sick. I swallowed hard, trying to force back my nausea. Sorry, I don't know. I said that way. I blinked several times, trying to blink the ugly red scrawls away. Amy, Amy, Amy. Why? Sarah asked me in a trembling voice. She adjusted her nightshirt and leaned against her dresser. Why, Amy? I suddenly realized that everyone was staring at me. I sputtered. Amy, this cannot continue, Dad said solemnly. His expression wasn't angry. It was sad. Aww. We'll get you some help, dear, Mom said. She had tears in her eyes. Her chin trembled. Jed stood silently with his arms crossed in front of his pajama shirt. Why, Amy? Sarah demanded again. But I didn't, I finally choked out. Amy, no stories, Mom said softly. But Mom, I didn't do it, I insisted shrilly. This is serious, Dad murmured, rubbing his whiskery chin. Amy, do you realize how serious this is? Jed reached out 2 fingers and rubbed them over one of the red paint scrawls. Dry, he reported. This was done a while ago. We'll have to get the lab techs in here. See where the source of the paint. That means it was done early in the night, Dad said, his eyes locked on me. Do you realize how bad this is? This isn't just mischief. I like how there's like the tiers of... But we talked about that in the first dummy book where there's shit you can do as a kid and your parents are like, all right, knock that shit off. Then there's the line that you cross, and then it's like scary, or it's just like your parents might be like, I think it's time we take her to a center or something. And like Kirsty did that
Leave her at a
in
fire
the
department.
first Dummies book. Like she crossed that line because she was so into doing that prank with the fridge thing. But like when she trashed the whole kitchen.
Oh, that was
but like
rough.
At no point is there an evil twin in this one. Anyway.
Not that I'm aware
I took a
of.
deep breath. My whole body was shaking. Slappy did it, I blurted out. I'm not crazy, Dad. I'm not. You've got to believe me. Slappy did it. Amy, please, Mom said softly. Come with me, I cried. I'll prove it. I'll prove that Slappy did it. Come on. I didn't wait for them to reply. I turned and bolted from the room. I flew down the hall. They all followed silently behind me. Is Amy sick or something? I heard Jed ask my parents. I didn't hear the answer. I burst into my room. They hurried close behind. I stepped up to the closet and pulled the door open. See, I cried, pointing to Slappy. See, that proves it. Slappy did it. Bum, bum, bum.
There sat Slappy, with a big grin and a fat paintbrush covered in red paint in his hand, just like all of the covers. Guilty as fuck. Amy's like, see? He did it. It's obvious that the dummy walked in here and did this himself with that paintbrush. Book him. And Jed giggles. He breaks the silence with, this is dumb. I assume he'd been watching a lot of Beavis and Butthead,
definitely.
probably riffed on some Butthead there. This is dumb. And Amy's mom is like, you're lying. I don't even know why I have to say that, because you're 12 and you're trying to convince us that a doll is running around the house writing your name everywhere. Amy, and then mom's like, you're lying. You took the red paintbrush, put it in Slappy's hand. Obviously, we're not stupid, Amy. Amy flips out, she's like, come on, there's going to be a John Grisham novel about me, how much I'm being convicted of a crime I didn't do. You know what I mean? And mom and dad continue to insist, you should tell the truth, or else we're going to ground you for like ever, and 2, we're probably going to have to send you to a professional, and they'll commit you, and you'll have to wear a straitjacket and live in a tower until you're 18 or something, okay? The 90s were rough for mental health, okay, child? And mom, she's like, she has to separate the pack because Sarah and Jed aren't helping the situation. She's like, Sarah, Jed, go downstairs and eat your fucking breakfast. But Jed wanted to stick around to see how Amy gets punished. But she's like, get out of here. Dad's like, this is serious, Amy. You need to snap into reality here and tell us the truth. We don't have dummies running around the house with paintbrushes. That's ridiculous. We can't, that's not a thing. The parents, they're like, you know what? We're cool parents. We need to let some steam roll off of us. Let's go have a nice big family breakfast like they do in the breakfast cereal commercials with one another. No one's just slamming a Pop-Tart running out the door. We're going to sit down for this. Let's head downstairs. Amy opens up the closet door. She's going for Slappy. And I'm going to read you a little bit here. If I can find the page here. I stood in the center of the room, and by the way, her parents are gone at this point. Her parents have headed downstairs. So Amy's just upstairs. I stood in the center of the room and shut my eyes. Every time I closed them, I saw red all over Sarah's wall. Amy, 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 Amy. But I didn't do it, I cried out loud, my heart pounding. I spun around. I grabbed the knob and jerked open the closet door. I grabbed Slappy by the shoulders of his gray jacket and pulled him up from the floor. The paintbrush fell from his hand. It landed with a thud beside my bare foot. I shook the dummy angrily. You son of a bitch! I shook him so hard that his arms and legs swung back and forth and his head snapped back. I said, you fucking piece of shit! Then I lifted him so that we were eye to eye, and I said, admit it! I screamed, glaring into his grinning face. I said, go ahead, admit that you did it! Tell me that you did it! And the glassy blue eyes gazed up at her, lifeless and blank, and neither of them moved. And then, she says, to my horror, the wooden lips parted, the red mouth slowly opened, and Slappy let out a soft fart. No, just kidding. He left out an evil, soft, he, dum, dum, dum.
I like how he's just slowly teasing that. Like, he's just like, you and I both know.
Yeah.
So, Amy calls Margot. She's like, Margot, I can't come over. I'm in trouble again. And Margot's just like, what the fuck do you do? And Amy's just like, I didn't fucking do anything. I'll tell you about it later. It's fine. No, it's one of those things where if I was talking to one of my friends and they were just very earnestly said to me, no, Dylan, I just, one of the most important nights of my life, I saw a UFO. A part of my heart would probably sink a little bit like, oh, one of my friends is crazy.
I know, right?
This is the saddest thing. Is like, would be so excited if any like supernatural thing was real. But if any of my friends came up to me and just like, Dylan, I think my dead grandmother showed up in my bathroom one day, like legitimately. I'd be like, oh, so you've got like,
Yeah.
do you have like,
Isn't it weird? You'd immediately lose respect for them, but deep down, you're like, man, I wish that happened to me.
man, same. Oh God. Now no one's going to tell us their dead grandma stories, though, because they're going to be like, oh, these assholes are just going to secretly judge me. It's like, we will, but still tell us your secret dead grandma stories. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, email. Yeah,
UFOs,
email the podcast, your secret dead grandmother.
Like, I would love to have a show.
I'd love to do let's just do an episode of everybody's cryptid sightings. I'd love to do it.
Don't make it up.
Yeah, if you frame it well and it's well
Don't make
written.
it up. Tell us your real.
Yeah, no creepypastas.
Even if it's the lamest thing. I can't wait to get a rambling long email. It's like, well, so it's like super late. You guys got to understand. I saw a shadow. It's like, okay.
Yeah, no, we'll read that on the podcast for you.
I 100% want to do a whole podcast now that's just us talking to people that are super into, and like, we do no research. We're just like, come on the show. And they come on and they tell us what they believe. And we're like, that's fucking bananas. That's amazing. Next guy. And it's just like, we just keep inviting, like, I'm not going to look up anything of whatever cryptid they're into. I want them to tell me everything. I want to hear about the cloud monsters. I want to hear about the lizard people. I don't want to invite them into our home. In our home, your and my home that we have together.
Oh, like
because I don't want them to know where we live. But it would be great to do have them call in, right?
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
And then you could edit
I think
it.
So yeah.
And you could contact them for me, and you could talk to them for me.
That's starting to sound like a lot more work for me.
Yeah. So Margot's just like. Fine, I don't care what you fucking did. My dad has this party all lined up. 6-year-olds. They're ready for some ventriloquism. They're so excited. My dad's been up and down the boardwalk being like, hey, you heard about Amy and Slappy? Hey, Amy and Slappy, gonna be at my place next Saturday. Amy and Slappy. Come on down to the party house and meet Amy and Slappy. And Amy's just like, the fuck is wrong with your dad? Like, seriously, like, he's seen me perform once 4 years ago. I was 8. It was cute then because I was 8. And I was just like, oh my, Janice, do you like peanut butter sandwich? No, I like wood sandwiches. That's what is wrong with your dad? Her dad's super into, like, Margot's dad clearly is in trouble. I feel like the business is like in trouble that he's pinned all of his hopes on a 12-year-old and a ventriloquist dummy to entertain children. But Amy's like, no, I'm not doing it. Amy's grounded anyway, and she's trying to, like, she wants to get rid of Slappy. So she's going to be like, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be like that go eat worms kid, and I'm going to spy on them. Yeah. I'm going to spy, not the worms. I'm going to spy on Slappy and see what kind of trouble he gets up to. So she puts him in the closet. She's thinking. She closes the closet door, and then she's just laying in bed. She's just like, I'm going to stay awake. But she doesn't. But she wakes up when he does come out the closet. And so...
She's lucky.
She hears something scraping across the carpet. She turns on her bedroom light. And she cries out, Rah! Bum, bum, bum.
Oh. Well, I'll have you know. It was Jed. Yeah. It was Jed. He says, she's like, what are you doing in here? And he's like, what'd you call me in here for? And she's like, I didn't call you in here. And he goes, you called me in here. You said, hey, Jack, come on in here. She's like, no, I did? No, I didn't. He's like, you certainly did, or else I would not be in here right now. And she was like, I don't think I did. I think you're being weird. He's like, I think you're being weird. And they're both kind of having like a sleepy standoff, and they're both pretty confused. And he's like, maybe I dreamed it. And she's like, you came in here to play a prank on me. And he's like, I don't think I did. And then he just goes back to sleep. And the closet door is still shut. Slappy never left. Jed goes back to bed. George follows him. I clearly thought that was an important detail.
Cat, by the way. We haven't mentioned George since
it down.
The first chapter. Neither has R.L. Stine.
Yeah. Yeah, but George was there. George came in, licked his butt, and left. And she fights sleep. You know, she's trying to go back to sleep, but her eyes are too heavy. And she says, A loud click made my eyes shoot open wide. I raised my head in time to see the closet door start to open. The room lay in darkness. No light washed in from the window. The door was a black shadow sliding slowly, slowly. My heart began to pound. My mouth suddenly felt dry as cotton. The closet door slid slowly, silently. A low creak. And then a shadow stepped out from behind the dark door. I squinted hard at it, not moving a muscle. Another creak of the door. The figure took another silent step out of the closet. Another step, another, making its way past my bed to the bedroom door. Slappy! Yes! Even in the night blackness, I could see his large, rounded head. I watched his skinny arms dangle at his sides, the wooden hands bobbing as he moved. The heavy leather shoes slid over my carpet. Why'd I say it like that? The heavy leather shoes slid over my carpet. The thin, boneless legs nearly collapsed with each shuffling step. Like a scarecrow, I thought, gripped with horror. He walks like a scarecrow, because he has no bones. No bones at all. Up and down his whole body bobbed as he crept away. I waited until he slithered and scraped out the door and into the hall. Then I jumped to my feet. I took a deep breath and held it. Then I tiptoed through the darkness after him. Here we go, I told myself. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. We're following a dummy.
Sorry. Just who are you talking about? Slappy or Amy? So Slappy's sneaking up towards Sarah's room, and Amy's following behind him. Doesn't want to alert mom and dad until he's in the middle of doing something. She wants that hard evidence. Even though, like, dipshit, a living dummy's the evidence you need. You don't need to catch him in the act. You don't need his fingerprints and his semen on, like, fucking on anything. If he's alive, you'll win. That's a win for you.
Yeah, because he's just going to flop. The parents are going to run. He's going to flop dead. They're going to be like, you put him there.
It would be hilarious if they're just like, well, now, just because he's a living dummy, Amy, doesn't mean he's the one who's been painting all over Sarah's room. Like, we have to listen to his side of the events. Slappy. So he's doing his weird boneless slither walk into Sarah's room, and Amy's following along. I have a feeling it must take him way longer to get anywhere than it would Amy, because it doesn't sound like he's like like running through there like a little child,
skittering.
So I feel like she's like just like very slowly, like, all right, come on, just move a little faster. I know where you're going. Like, this isn't a big house. Like, and just watching this little boneless jerk.
She goes and opens. She like holds Sarah's door open for him.
Because it's a good 5 minutes of him being like, with his little boneless wooden fingers. Just how does he open doors? Now that I'm thinking, although he did grab a hold of that little girl, so I guess he can move his hands a little bit.
Oh, he can grip. He's got. Yeah,
so he's slithering in. He's being a little boneless creep, and Amy's watching him. She sees Slappy going to Sarah's room, and then he's going towards the mural that Sarah's been working on. And it's like some beach, because obviously she's got some shit about the water. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you, Sarah. So then, she's trying to see what he's doing. Where was Slappy? I took a step into the room and saw him standing at her paint table. Saw his big wooden hand fumble over the table of supplies. Then he grabbed a paintbrush in one hand. He raised and lowered the brush as if pretending to paint the air. Then I saw him dip the paintbrush in the jar of paint. Slappy took a step toward the mural, then another step. He stood for a moment, admiring the mural. He raised the paintbrush high. That's when I burst into the room. I dove towards the dummy just as he raised the paintbrush to the mural. I grabbed the paintbrush with one hand, wrapped my other hand around his waist, and tugged him back. The dummy kicked both his legs and tried to punch me with his fists. "Hey!" a startled voice shouted. The light clicked on. Slappy went limp on my arm. His head dropped. His arms and leg dangled to the floor. Sitting up in bed, Sarah gaped at me in horror. I saw her eyes stop at the paintbrush in my hand. "Amy, what are you doing?" she cried. And then, without waiting for an answer, Sarah began to shout, "Mom! Dad! Hurry! She's in here again! Bum, bum, bum!"
Oh, Sarah! No one believes her about the whole, because she woke up. Sarah called her in there. And she had the dummy, and she was in Sarah's room there in the middle of the night with the dummy there, and she's holding the brush and Slappy. And Sarah says she woke up because she saw Amy in her room, not Slappy. That was a contended point upon discovery when the parents came in. She said, "Oh, Sarah, you woke up because you saw Slappy run into the room. You saw him, didn't you?" And Sarah was like, "I saw you come into the room, bitch. I saw you come in here holding Slappy, sending her down the river." And no one believes her that Slappy crept down the hall on his own and she followed him.
That's weird.
They think, wow, that Amy, real nutter butter. We should put her in a home. And the next morning, Amy comes downstairs. Mom's on the phone. And she had set up an appointment for Amy to see a psychiatrist on Wednesday. Now, this is Monday. Amy feels that clock ticking. She's got just a couple days to prove to her parents that she's innocent, or else she's going to the Nutter Butter House for Children, Dylan, and they don't
back in 1995, they were still lobotomizing children, so she had some real fears in those days.
They certainly
remember.
There were no regulations.
The piano lessons can be murder. That guy was a licensed healthcare professional when he was turning children into robot hands. So,
yep, free lobotomies. I remember it all the time. Sears catalog.
Yep.
At school, Margot, curious about Amy's situation. She's like, "Amy, what's going on? What do you mean you can't do my dad's parties anymore? What do you mean you threw Slappy in the closet? What do you mean? What do you mean?" And Amy's like, "I ain't telling you shit. All right, this is between me and my parents." And Margot's like, "Damn, it must be serious. All right. Well, you can still do the party if you want to." And Amy's like, "No! My ventriloquist days are over with, dog." Margot's like, "All right, damn, girl, fine." So they separate. And then that night, it's a Monday night, Amy thinking, "Phew, what am I doing? Studying for school? I don't give a shit about Fort Sumter. I got less than 48 hours before I'm sent to a home. All right, I'm going to have a new mom and dad if I don't figure out how to prove my own innocence. I need to show them that the Slappy don't fit. They must have quit." She decides she should just toss Slappy in the trash. That would end her problems. She would get in no further trouble if Slappy were out of her life. But before she can, the closet door opens, Slappy shuffles out, and he rasps, "Amy, it's time you and I had a little talk." Bum, bum, bum.
"Amy, now you are my slave." That's his new voice. I'm going to do this voice for the rest of the book. Like we're kind of gravelly New York. Yeah.
It is kind of fitting that he sounds like Strom Thurmond.
"Amy." I was going for like a New England-y. Anyway. "Amy, now you are my slave," Slappy said. His threat came out in a harsh, cold rasp. The eerie voice made me shiver. I stared back at him. I couldn't reply. I mean, I feel like I was going for more like a Gilbert Gottfried kind of rasp, not a eerie voice, but okay, Amy, if you're scared by that. I gaped into those glassy blue eyes, that red lip smirk. "You read the ancient words that bring me to life," the dummy whispered, "and now you will serve me. You'll do everything I ask." "No," I finally managed to choke out. "No." "Yes," he cried. The grinning wooden head bobbed up and down, nodding. "Yes, Amy, you are my slave now. My slave forever." "I won't," I stammered. "You can't make me—" My voice caught in my throat. My legs wobbled like rubber. My knees buckled and I nearly fell. Slappy raised one hand and grabbed my wrist. I felt the cold wooden fingers tighten around me. "You will do as I tell you, from now on," the dummy whispered. "Or else—" "Let go of me," I cried. I struggled to tug my arm free, but his grasp was too tight. "Or else what?" I cried. "Or else I will destroy your sister's mural," Slappy replied. His painted grin grew wider. The cold eyes glared into mine. "Big deal," I muttered. "Do you really think I'll be your slave because you wreck her painting? You've already wrecked Sarah's room, haven't you? That doesn't mean I'll be your slave." "I'll keep on destroying things." Slappy replied, tightening his grip on my wrist, tugging me down toward him. Maybe I'll start wrecking your brother's things, too. And you will be blamed, Amy. You will be blamed for it all. Mwahaha! Stop, I cried, trying to twist free. Your parents are really worried about you, ain't they, Amy? The dummy rasped in that harsh, cold, whispery voice. Your parents already think you're crazy. Stop, please, I pleaded. What do you think they'll do when you start wrecking everything in the house? Slappy demanded. What do you think they'll do to you, Amy? Listen to me, I shrieked. You can't... He jerked my arm hard. They'll send you away, he rasped, his eyes flashing wildly. That's what your parents will do. They'll send you away, and you'll never see them again. Except on visiting days. A low moan escaped my throat. My entire body shuddered with terror. Slappy tugged me closer. You will be an excellent slave, he whispered in my ear. You and I will have many good years together. You will devote your life to me. No, I cried. No, I won't. I sucked in a deep breath. Then I swung my arm hard as I could. I caught the dummy by surprise. Before he could let go of my wrist, I pulled him off balance. He let out a startled grunt as I lifted him off the floor. He's just a dummy, I told myself. Just a dummy. I can handle him. I can beat him. His hand fell off my wrist. I ducked low, grabbed his boneless arm with both hands, swung my shoulder, flipped him over my back. He landed hard on his stomach. His head made a loud clonk as it hit the floor. Breathing hard, my heart thudding wildly, I dove. I can handle him. I can beat him. I tried to pin him to the floor with my knees, but he spun away and scrambled up faster than I could believe. I cried out as he swung his wooden fist. I tried to dodge away, but he was too fast. The heavy fist caught me square in the forehead. My face felt as if it had exploded. Pain shot down my body. Everything went bright red. Everything went bright red, and holding both sides of my head, I crumpled to the floor. Bum, bum, bum! She got beat by a dummy. Bum!
I remember one time my cousin, we had this little back scratcher that looked like a wooden hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He fucking whacked me in the forehead with it, and it was the worst pain I think I've ever felt. It was so pointed on my forehead. It was crazy. So that's what I imagined when this happened. But Amy, you know, not down and out, because by God, they're playing her music, and she runs out and she goes into Hulk mode, and she pins him to the floor. And she's got his mouth. She's got him pinned by his like arms and legs, and his mouth is just open and shutting. Like you can just hear his little wooden teeth clacking, which is kind of creepy. Clack, 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 clack. And he's squirming and he's calling her. He's like, slave, slave. And he's telling her to set him free, which is kind of ironic given that the dynamic with the slave thing.
Yeah.
And then she fucking just starts smacking his head off the floor. Bam, bam, bam. And then she flings him into the closet. He hits the back wall and slides down, and then she locks it, which made me think, oh shit, you could lock this? Where's the lock been? You should have been locking him in there the whole time.
All right, I've already got the spackle ready, right? So the first time she threw him in the closet, she didn't know he was alive. The second time she threw him in the closet, she wanted him to come out. So all the times, yeah. So this is the first time that she's put him in the closet, knowing that he's alive and wanting to keep him there.
And violent. All right, thank you for the spackle. That was actually pretty good. But anyway, you know, he beats on the door now that he's locked in there, nearly breaking it open. You know, nearly knocking it off the fucking hinges. And she's like, "Man, I should go tell my parents, but." They won't believe me. Like, as soon as they come in here, he'll stop, he'll play dummy, and they'll be like, oh, Amy's crazy again. She thinks her dummy's beating on stuff. And she's like, but you know what? Maybe I can convince Sarah, which is interesting. So, per the reading, she decides to go check on Sarah here to see if she can talk her into taking her side. And she says, her door was open. I burst into her room. She stood at the mural, brush in hand, dabbing yellow paint on the beach. She turned as I ran in, her face tightened in anger. Amy, what do you want? She demanded. You've got to believe me, I sputtered. I need your help. It wasn't me who did these horrible things. It really wasn't Sarah. It was Slappy. Please, believe me. It was Slappy. Yes, I know, Sarah replied calmly. Bum, bum, bum.
What was your reaction to this reveal? Because this was almost like a twist where it's just like,
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I did not see that one coming, to be honest with you. I was like, shit, he still got it. My guy still got it.
So Sarah admits that she saw Slappy come in and was like painting Amy all over the walls. And that Sarah just fucking hit it. She's like, I didn't want it to be fucking true. I didn't want to believe it. And also, I kind of want to get you in fucking trouble, Amy, because fuck you. And Amy's just like, what the what? How could Sarah not what? And Sarah's just like, I've always been jealous of you, bro. And Amy's like, how could you be jealous of me? You can paint like fucking Mona Lisas whenever you want. And Sarah's just like, but I'm such a piece of shit and I'm really boring and I don't have much of a personality. I have to paint well.
You know that's right.
For everyone to like me better. Like, I have to make an art to be like interesting. You're just like super personable and everyone loves Amy. Everyone loves Amy. Amy's just like, you're right. You are really like insipid and boring and no one wants to talk to you. But you do have beautiful paintings. And so they hug it out because they have like a cool moment. And I feel kind of bad for Jed who's left out of this. And Jed's just like, everyone still hates me.
They're like, no, we both hate
Jed's a
Jed.
little shit.
He's not even our
he's
brother.
definitely not related to us, right? Oh, yeah, Mom definitely fucks the mailman. Have you seen mailman? Shock of red hair, like just bright green eyes. Oh, my God. The day the dad finally clocks
Always
it.
playing practical jokes, putting like gag gifts in the mailbox all the time. Like a chip off the old block.
And the best prank of all is Jed.
Yes.
On the dad, I guess. I don't know. So they hug it out, and then Amy's just like, oh, yeah, Slappy. Can you help me deal with Slappy? And Sarah's just like, okay, we'll deal with the fucking murderous doll now. And so they go back to her room. They're about to deal with this shit, but then Slappy kicks down the door of the closet and is like, guess what, slaves? Slappy wins! Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha! Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, dude, and it's on. It is on. Amy dives for him. There's a scuffle. I mean, we're talking, there's just fur and wood chips flying.
A real Donnybrook here. Yeah, just.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. Just sawdust and blood. And the girls, they take control. They pin his arms behind him, and then they're like, we should tie him into a knot, because if I were in a knot, I'd be pissed. And they're like, it's a great idea. So one ties his arms, I believe Sarah, and then Amy gets on leg duty, and they're tying those into a knot to make him pretty helpless.
Yeah, they literally tie his arms and legs into separate knots, which I think is amazing.
I love it. Yep. Just make him into a little hammock, and then he's screaming, like, he's like, slaves, and shit like that. And Amy,
he's trying to bite them too, I think. He's
yell
like,
that. Yeah. Yeah, he's like a, I don't know, like one of those things where you catch fish in an aquarium, the little jaws of the shark. He's like, yeah. I just hear that clack.
Sometimes.
Anyway, he's clacking.
Lily doesn't like it if I pick her up and move her. And her way of informing me that she doesn't like that is to whip her head around and get within 2 inches of biting me. And so all I hear is like right by my face. I'm just like, okay, I'll put you back down.
Wow. Lily's a dog for those of you that
No, she's my daughter.
It's not a human woman. Dylan just picks up and she tries to, then he puts her back in the cage.
No, that's Lilith. Lily's the dog.
But as Slappy is screaming, slaves, Amy, she's had enough. She grabs some tissues and just stuffs them into his mouth, and he's like, slaves. And they decide, they're kind of making this up on the fly. They're like, I don't know what to do. Let's just take him outside. Let's head outside with him. And so they sneak by their parents' room while they're moving a small couch that is biting and screaming at them down the hall. Parents are still asleep, thankfully. They don't stir.
Fucking...
And then out the front door, and they take him out the front door and down the sidewalk a little bit. They're looking for a trash bin. I'm like, we should toss him into a trash bin. And Sarah spots one. She's like, oh, there's one over here. And as they're heading over to the bins, Amy she decides she has a better idea. She spots a sewer drain. And so she says, I led the way across the street and then stopped. Sarah, wait, I whispered. I have a better idea. I dragged the dummy toward the corner. I motioned to the metal drain down at the curb. The sewer? Sarah whispered. I nodded. It's perfect. Through the narrow opening at the curb, I could hear running water far down below. Come on, shove him in. Slappy still didn't move or protest in any way. I lowered his head to the drain opening. Then Sarah and I pushed him in head first. I heard a splash and a hard thud as he hit the sewer floor. We both listened. Silence. Then the soft trickle of water. Sarah and I grinned at each other. We hurried home. I was so happy I skipped most of the way. The next morning, Sarah and I came to the kitchen for breakfast together. Mom turned from the counter where she was pouring herself a cup of coffee. Jed was already at the table, eating his frosted flakes at an appropriate hour. What's he doing down here? Jed asked. He pointed across the table. At Slappy, sitting in the chair. Bum, 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 motherfucker's back.
Really, it was Jed talking to his not real dad. What's he doing here?
He just sees the mail being delivered. He's like, what's Dad doing? Oh, am I not supposed to?
So the girls are like, well, I guess that's, oh, God, don't do that twice.
2 gasps.
Mom's just like,
that's tough.
The fuck is he doing down here? He was down here when I came down here. Why is he so fucking daddy? And he's just like, oh, he must have fallen down the stairs and into the kitchen chair. And Mom's just like, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be in the closet, you little nutcase. And Amy's like, ah. And so she takes him upstairs and she's like, I'm going to have to clean him too. And then as she's carrying him back to the closet, he's like, morning, slave. Did you sleep well? Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. She's just like, Jesus Christ. Throws him in the closet, goes to school. She's just like, oh, how the fuck am I going to get rid of Slappy? Margot's probably just like, are you fucking okay? Are you doing drugs or shit? Like, what's going on with you? And like, Margot, fuck off, all right? I'll tell you never.
It's so complicated,
at this
Margot.
point.
So complicated.
Yes, just yes. So that night, she can't fucking sleep. Amy's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, she can't sleep anymore. Like, what am I going to do? I'm trying to sleep. I hope Slappy doesn't wake up and try and leave the closet, she says. I'm setting the stage for later's reveal. So you know, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, oh, I can't sleep. But then he's right in the closet. But she forgot to lock the door, I bet too. It's super hot and humid because it's early. It's like early spring, so it's that mix of like hot and cold and like, ugh.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
You know, and Dad didn't turn on the AC yet because like he's just like, it's only May. I'm not turning on the air conditioner until it's fucking.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's
sleep with a fan
just
on.
keep the door open. But then she hears a creaking sound. The sound of tiny wooden shoes, probably. And she's like, oh no. That little fuck is gonna go to Sarah's room. Honestly, it's probably good that he's only just like fucking up her paintings. Like,
yeah.
It's a little obsessive and weird, but you know, there's a lot of worse things he could be doing. Let's discuss that. Bum, bum, bum.
So she darts on down to Sarah's room because Slappy's heading down that way. Could be about to, I don't know, maybe play a rated R movie.
That's true. Yeah.
For her. That'd be terrible. He could do that. He could
be about to gut the cat right on her face.
Could gut the cat on her face. I was about to get to that. I'm glad you brought that up next. So she gets down there, and now it's dark, and she can see like a silhouette of Slappy, paintbrush over his head, because he's making it real dramatic, over his head, preparing to destroy this nice beach mural. And then Amy gets down in a 3-point stance. She's like, what would Mike Dick could do? And she prepares to dart in and tackle Slappy, which would no doubt make him fall into the painting with the paintbrush and still fuck it up a little bit. But it would at least stop him from maybe destroying it completely. And suddenly, at this moment, another figure, small figure, a silhouette. Again, we're dealing with nighttime here, folks. There's not a lot of visibility. Another small figure leaps out of the darkness, and I'll be goddamned if it ain't our boy, Dennis.
Shut your mouth.
Yep. Stand back, Dennis ordered in a high shrill voice. That's my bad. Stand back, Dennis ordered in a shrill voice. He lowered his wooden head and charged at Slappy. Sarah sat up in her bed and uttered a frightened cry. I could see the stunned expressions on Slappy's face. Dennis flew at Slappy. He slammed his head into Slappy's middle. Slappy let out a loud, "Oof!" He staggered back, fell. A loud thud rang through the room as the back of Slappy's head hit Sarah's iron bedpost. Boom! I raised both hands to my cheeks and gasped as Slappy's head cracked open. Oh, the wooden head split down the middle. I watched the evil face crack apart. The wide, shocked eyes slid in different directions. The red lips cracked and fell away. The head dropped to the floor in two pieces, and then the body collapsed in a heap beside them. My hand still pressed against my face, my heart pounding. I took a few steps into the room. Dennis ran past me out to the hall. But my eyes were locked on the two pieces of Slappy's head. I stared in horror as an enormous white worm crawled out of one of the pieces. The fat worm slithered and curled to the wall and vanished into a crack in the molding. Sarah climbed out of bed, breathing hard, her face bright red from excitement. The closet door swung open. Guess what? Mom and Dad, they were in the closet.
When I first read this, I didn't know that they were coming out of the closet, A. And B, then they come running out. They're like, we saw everything. I'm just like, and you did nothing? But then they explain what is happening. But I did think it's funny that her parents were just like, oh my God, it was pretty horrifying watching our children being savaged by a doll from the closet. You fucking psychos.
I also like why both parents in this closet. I just imagine both parents are just tight in this closet.
Especially since mom's got a big old dumper. I'm sorry, Jesus. yeah, mom's got a big dumper, and dad's there. He don't got a little dumper, and then they're both just tight in this closet, and I just imagine they're like, I think one of us could have probably done this. I don't think we needed both of us for this part. It's a 3 foot tall dummy. I feel like maybe, honey, you could have dealt with this. I could have slept through this whole bullshit psychopathy.
Yeah, I'll take Tuesday's shift if there's more shifts.
They were thinking about the realistic, like, behind the, like, they were hours in this closet in the hopes that a dummy would actually come alive. They're two children. Okay, we'll get there because they do explain why this is.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I posted, this is completely, ignore this. I posted a video on the Discord a few days ago from this comedy guys that were just like, they do like a heist montage. And it's like your typical, like, I've discovered where this guy does about his day. And it's fast cut to them, like, first he gets his cup of coffee, fast cut. Then he does the laundry and then he ends up fast cut at this building here. And we'll be able to get him at 6 a.m., whatever. And then it's like, what happens between the montage? And it shows them, like, driving to all the locations. Be like, are you going to tell me what it's going on? It's like, no, I just want to show you, all right? It's going to be super cool when we get there. So how are you and the kids doing? And it's just like, what must happen in all of these movies with all these flash cuts, and it's like, oh yeah, they had to fucking drive to get there, and a lot of the times they're just in the middle of a sentence, and they're like, ha. But it was just funny. It's like this 10-minute long video of like just the tedious shit that they get up to. It's like, oh man, did you bring enough change for that? Do you have the car keys? Like, I don't know if I have the car key.
Yeah. I love that shit. I love like the unspoken liminal space in anything. That's where all the fun is. But yeah, so mom and dad, they barge out of this closet and they're like, whoa, what? That was crazy. What the hell was that about? And the girls are like, told you. And the parents had seen the whole thing. Thank God. They caught there's the only way that this was going to resolve is if they caught him in action. And then they hug Amy and they say, honey, we apologize for singling you out as the crazy one. Now that the entire family has seen the dummy, we will all check ourselves in.
Yeah.
We are all, there must be a carbon monoxide leak. And so, but this was all part of the plan, okay? Because Amy, she had been acting a little weird, according to parents, obviously, and Sarah asks them, stay guard in the closet and watch what happens when Amy comes in. Watch for Amy, because Amy could show up at any minute. And it's like, maybe don't wait at the scene of the crime. Maybe just stay outside of Amy's room. But they're waiting in Sarah's room.
I mean,
for
we
the crime
don't know
to
the
be
layout of the house. So, maybe there's no good waiting spots for them to be able to, park outside Amy's room. So
True.
I just have to go with the author's vision here. Closet's only viable option.
Yeah. I do kind of feel bad, especially for the dad, maybe, because the boys are like, hey, man, you want to come down and play pool? He's like, nah, I'm hiding in my daughter's closet.
To make sure that my other daughter hasn't lost her fucking mind and that she's not going to...
They're like, why? He's like, so I can spy on my other daughter. Oh, okay. That's reasonable. What about the son? He's like, he's not mine. I don't spy on him.
He's definitely the mailman's kid. Oh, the dad's definitely aware that Jed's not his. Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, he shows no affection toward him. So that was basically the way that it worked out. Sarah and Amy had gotten together. Amy convinced Sarah to get in on the plan. Sarah's like, great idea. Put the parents in the closet. Tell them that Amy's going to come in and ruin stuff, and that'll set up Slappy. It works. Boom. And the other part of the plan was Jed was going to dress as Dennis, and he was going to be ready, and he was going to take Dennis's old head, since Dennis's head don't stay on too good, and put it on his shoulders, kind of put that into the turtleneck there so the head looks like his head. And he's like, that'll startle Slappy. They somehow knew this. They're like, yeah, if Slappy sees another dummy, forget that he's brave toward humans, but if he sees another wooden dummy, he'll shit right in his wood. And that'll give us a chance to nab
he'll bark
him,
in his pants.
Right?
Like tree bark.
Yeah, he'll...
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, you'll fucking just spray splinters through the back end of that doll. And
sorry, spray splinters.
The very end of the book. Yeah. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, fuck yeah. Here we go. Last page of the book. We didn't know what a great job Jed would do, of course, as Dennis. We didn't know that Jed would actually destroy the evil dummy. We didn't know that Slappy's head would crack apart. That was just good luck. Hey, where is Jed? I asked, my eyes searching the room. Jed? Jed, Mom called. Where are you? You did a great job. No reply. No sign of my brother. Weird, Sarah muttered, shaking her head. We all trooped down the hall into Jed's room. We found him in bed, sound asleep. He groggily raised his head from the pillow and squinted at us. What time is it? He asked sleepily. It's nearly 11. Dad replied. Oh, no, Jed cried, sitting up. I'm sorry, I forgot to wake up. I forgot I was supposed to dress up like Dennis. I felt a shiver run down my back. I turned to my parents. Then who fought Slappy? I asked. Who fought Slappy? The end. Who fought Slappy? It was fucking Dennis, bro. The hero that we don't deserve but still got. I love a hero. I love that Dennis, just unsung out of nowhere, floppy head and all, just runs out of the shadows and splits another dummy's head wide open when a worm falls out. God, that's a way to end the book.
Oh, fuck yeah. Just like bing, bang, boom. Damn. It was just like the T-Rex at the end of Jurassic Park glomping onto some velociraptors. Like, just like, holy shit.
Sure enough.
Dennis? And he's gone.
Yeah, that's a 1-for-1 comparison. I thought it was a really good book, all said. Like, I don't know that it sticks out like supremely. I think knowing having the first book and understanding like the deviousness that the dummies are capable of sort of sets you up here, so you have some expectations. But I don't know, there's something about this one was just a well-rounded one. I like the way it ended. I like the way it started, and I didn't really mind the characters. I felt like Amy was. I didn't like Sarah too much. I think she's got some. There's some spackle that needs to be done with sort of some of her behaviors. But other than that, I feel like it was a pretty fun ride.
Yeah, I agree with you that this isn't going to be like in my top 10 when we're done with everything, but like for a sequel and for like the 31st book in the series, like real solid fucking book. Like I like, and everyone seemed fairly reasonable too. Like the parents were acting within their remit. Like our child needs like mental health or whatever. Like there wasn't too many crazy moments where I'm just like, all right, you guys, an adult needs to step in here because no one's being the adult. I love that the kids were like, let's tell our parents, which so rarely happens in the Goosebumps books. Like so often it's like, I can't tell our parents, they'll never believe this. Or they do and they don't believe them.
Right.
So yeah, no, I thought this was a fucking, just, a real, not a grand slam, but definitely a home run. Like it's just a knock,
I think so.
just a lead-off home run, start of the inning. Actually, that's a really good because it is the start of the season. So yeah, I will. Hold on. I'll play some more sounds that people can hear. Yeah, good job of me. I gave myself an applause.
Claps.
Yeah,
thank you for that. Also, too, like the stakes. It's a good book, even though the stakes are kind of low. Like, I know the outcome is that Amy has to get treatment for something that she has no control over, this dummy. But at the end of the day, he's just painting things. So it's not like... I mean, it's significant to Sarah, and it's a big deal, like, behaviorally for the kids. But, like, he's not, like, under a school, like, tricking kids. He's not... It's not a ghost that's trying to lure you into a graveyard to murder you or anything like that. Like we've had, he's not trying to steal a mermaid. He's just painting something, and I don't know. It still felt like the stakes
monster.
were high.
Like he's a nuisance monster. Where it's just like it is funny how much he's just like, you're my slaves, and they're just like, no. And he's like, no, you are. And he's like, no. And he's like, but you have to do what I say. And they're like, no. And so far, no one has done anything that he said. Like, they're just like, I'm going to put you in a trunk. Shut the fuck up. And it's only when they don't have eyes on him that he's a problem.
That's true. And I'm interested, because, we're coming into these pretty naive. Like, the third one, Slappy seems like his headworm fell out. So, I mean, are we getting Dennis? Or what's going to happen? I'm assuming it's Slappy since he's still...
I hope he's got
he's
tape across his head or something, though. But
something. Yeah. So what are you rating this one?
I'm going to give it 3.5 throbbing turgid worms out of 5. Like, real solid.
Okay.
Like...
Flopping... turgid.
They're just
worms.
White, like a big white worm, like real big, like 7 to 8 inches long, somewhere in that range. Thick, throbbing white worm. Yeah.
Jeez, Louise, that is so much more. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna go with I think 5 out of 7. Swollen toddler hands.
Oh, their little chubby fingers. They're just like puffed up like little sausages.
Little sausage fingers that are just beat up. And 5 out of 7 feels good. I would almost go 6, but I'm going to leave a little room at the top for the rest of the season to grow. But I do. I did enjoy it.
And if I compare it to the first one, I mean, the first one has a lot to live up to. Like, those two twins are some of my least favorite children in any of the book. They're so awful children.
Terrible children.
But, yeah, this was a really good follow-up. Unlike, as much as I hate to say it, the Monster Bloods, real uneven after the first one.
Yeah.
Even as much as I love...
First one's great. Third one's okay, but the second one's
as much
a
as
mess.
I love Evan and Andy, and the fact that Andy is a sociopath, that does not excuse the stories in either of the 2 sequels so far.
No. Not at all. But some little trivia here. We got a little bit. This one you'll like, Dylan. This is Slappy's first role as the lead villain. And this is similar to that of the horror film franchise, Friday the 13th, In the first film, the villain is Pamela Voorhees, spoilers, but for the majority of the films that followed, the villain is her son, Jason Voorhees.
We should post that the adorable picture that of when Pam and I did a cute couples costume with her as Pamela Voorhees and me as Jason Voorhees.
Ah, that is cute.
It's real cute.
Do you guys role play with that? Do you guys lead off with that?
It's hard for me because Jason doesn't talk a lot, so I actually
a lot of grunts.
She has to gag me basically if I'm going to shut up. Yeah, so
sure.
But other than that,
that's fair. That's kind of how I treat you too.
You just mute me.
Similar to the many sequels that would follow, it is never mentioned as to what fate befell Slappy's previous owners. In the case of Lindy and Chris Powell, or how, or even if they managed to defeat Slappy. So I guess we can almost assume that Lindy and Chris from book 1 are dead.
I have to say, since Slappy's goal is slaves, which is such a
I guess Puppet Master makes sense. Like he wants to flip it. He's not, maybe.
Oh, it's a bad pun. Okay.
Did I just spackle? I didn't even.
Yeah, you did. That was your first spackle. Good job. Yeah,
wow.
You did it.
That's crazy. It felt weird.
I feel like they've moved or something. Like the parents are just like checked them into an insane asylum. Oh, that's where they are. They're definitely in some home for disturbed little girls because like Slappy just killed Mr. Barky or whatever, and
just rocking back and forth, bouncing a tennis ball off a wall.
Oh, but they're fine. They're probably like, at least we don't have Slappy to worry about.
Oh yeah,
probably still trying to one up each other. It's like I'm crazier than you are.
That's probably true. And then the last little bit of trivia here between this book and Night of the Living Dummy 3. This is the shortest period, not just for the Night of the Living Dummy sequels in the original series, but of any set of sequels in the original series, by being separated by only 9 books. So we don't get too far before we get to the third one. End of the season.
Considering that we're not going to see another Monster Blood for 31 more books.
That's crazy,
That's
isn't
a pretty short stretch. Yeah. Although, let's be honest, Monster Blood needed to rest for 31 books, I feel. Well, not just 31 books, but quite a few books.
It really did.
Yeah.
But I reckon that's going to do her. Yeah.
That is going to do her.
All right. Well, you can always email the show. We got goosebumpspodcast@gmail.com. A couple folks did that between seasons, and we frickin' put those in the bonus episode and even basically themed a bonus episode based on a suggestion from the email. So you're going to want to email us. It's a good time. We got goosebumpspodcast@gmail.com.
That was our last bonus episode, talking about the Chillology.
Yeah. Or the chill. I learned it's Chillogy.
Chillogy.
We said Chillology the whole time, and then when I was typing the title of the episode, I was like, well, that's not how you say that.
Chillogy. Yep. That makes a lot more sense. Yep. Well, if you want to also tell us that we were mispronouncing the name of an episode the entire time we're talking about it, you can reach out to us on Blue Sky at Say Cheese and Pod. I do check that fairly regularly, so you can reach out there. You could also support us on Patreon.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, if we love your ears, but if you'd like to help fund what goes on around here, boy, we'd appreciate that. That's patreon.com/Polykill. That represents the podcast network we're a part of course, Polymedia Network, which you can find more of our shows at polymedianetwork.com. Now, Dylan, I hear you barking, big dog. What do you got for the next book?
Wait, what is the title of it?
The Barking Ghost. That was my segue.
The Barking Ghost?
That was my segue there, yeah.
The Barking Ghost. Okay. Obviously, it's just going to be a story about one of the kids from My Harriest Adventures after they died. He's like, R.L. Stine finally found a loophole. He can kill children if they're dogs. And the publisher's just like, no, that's twice as worse.
I love the idea that he's asking, can I kill dogs? They're like, no. He's like, can I kill children? They're like, no. He's like, can I kill dog children? They're like, what? He's like, did you say yes? You said yes. Okay, I'm going to do it.
I just have to imagine this ongoing battle between R.L. Stine and she's like, no, I fucking hate children. Why do they have to live every time? It's like, yes, this is a series for children. Could it be a series for me? Like, all right, Arl. We have to do Fear Street where he's just let off the hook and he's just like, and then Cindy got stabbed 30 times and then she never got to bother her dad again. It's like, Jesus.
Damn, Ariel.
Why are all the kids in your Fear Street books named after your real life children? It's like, anyway. Also, this child's name and the barking ghost has a dog name, so I feel like could very well be actually a dog, and that's why he sees dog ghosts, but
we'll see.
Scared of his own shadow. That's what everyone says about Cooper Holmes. Like, both those names are dog names. Like, if you came up to me and like, I've got a dog named Cooper. I'm like, Basset Hound, obviously. If they came up and you're like, I have a dog named Holmes. I'm like, oh, also a Basset Hound. Those are both good hound dog names, like Cooper and Holmes. Anyway, but when the Holmeses move into a new house deep in the woods, scary things really do start happening. Problem is, no one believes a scaredy cat like Cooper. But then no one else heard the bone-chilling barking late at night, or ran into two evil-looking dogs who disappeared into thin air.